So welcome everybody to the first semi-final, Coaching Up Sporting Complex. Beautiful conditions for football today. Gentle breeze blowing to the left of screen. Not familiar with the north, south, east, west at Coaching Up, but for everyone that does know, as you come into the main gate, the breeze is just a gentle one, not favouring any side. Just seen the conclusion of the reserves. A terrific game of football between Tigers and Imperials. Tigers ran out winners by 15 points. 9 goals, 12, 66 to Imperials, who were gallant in defeat. 7 goals, 9, 51. Best players, well, for me, Starkey, the evergreen veteran down back, went through the middle of the ground. Pretty important for them to see how deep they can go. They'll find themselves in the preliminary final. Butler, youngster, was terrific. Cordick down forward, done some good things along with Reeve. And Stephen Jigger Giles, well, we called him for his first bounce. I'm sure it was a couple of weeks ago in the league. Well, he had 3 in a row today. And he's got some slippery pace. Jigger, if you talk to him, you can nearly line him up with a strainer post to see if he's moving. But when he gets a footy in his hands, he was terrific. And for the losers, well, Cameron was sensational down back. Stopped a lot of forays forward. Potts in the ruck was terrific. Collins and Franklin up forward as well. In the earlier game, the Colts, Tigers, done it comfortably. Come all the way over to Coach Up. They won by 99 points. 17 goals, 18, 120 to Imperials. 3 goals, 3, 21. Tough for the visitors. Well, they're all visitors today, but for Imperials, they got 3 sides in today, so numbers aren't great for all clubs, but when you've got 3 on the one day, makes it just a little bit tougher. But they put up a good showing for Tigers in no particular order. Young Marco Rado down forward, done some really good things, pushed up the ground and very unselfish in front of goal. Beggs, Edwards, Reef and Chase Watson, along with Hayden Lagana, were Tigers' best, amongst Tigers' best. For Imperials, a little bit more harder to find. I thought Spaeth done some really good work, really tried hard, left footer. Constable, he'll be playing in the league as well today. Sai Toigo and young Cordick as well, Oscar Cordick. Players just going through their warm-ups here for this game. 2-1 in favour of Imperials throughout the course of this year. 2-1 in favour of Deanmill, They won by 4 points first game of the season. Then Imperials travelled out to Deanmill, and Deanmill got the job done by 60 to 80 points. Then only a few weeks ago, which is very important for both clubs, Imperials come out winners at home by 29 points to nearly book their spot in the final. Well, for Deanmill, they had to do it the hard way. Their final season started last week. They found themselves on equal points with Tigers, only a couple of percent separating. So whoever won that game was in to the first semi. And Deanmill have found their way in. It didn't look good early for the Hawks. They were down by 7 or 8 goals early in the second quarter, but managed to peg their way back in a terrific game of footy and won by 17 points and got themselves into a first semi-final. Last year's premiers lost a lot of players along with a lot of other clubs, but they find themselves here at Coaching up against the Imperials. Both sides evenly matched. A lot of youngsters for both sides, as we said. Imperials have 3 or 4 players doubling up from Colts and reserves, and along with Deanmill, they have 2 or 3 Colts players playing today as they sit in and will play the second semi in the Colts next week against Southerners. Before we start, we've got our trusty cameraman to my right in Curtis. We did a bit of a difficult game last week where it was a bit ho-hum, but that put an end to Southerners' season, and Bridgetown got over the line by 182 points to 0, so we won't talk too much about that. And on my left, the Tigers legend, my main man, Angelo Femia. He's on the time clock today, so we'll keep an eye on him, Curtis, as we go, but he's as honest as the day is long. We sit inside the time box at Coaching Up, looking across the ground in perfect conditions, umpires in the middle. Toss of the coin goes up, won by Deanmill, and they'll kick to right of screen. I'd like to thank our sponsors before we start this game. Great Southern Fuels, Ag Free, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains. For all your grains needs, go and see Premium Grains. And also Manjimup Gateway Hotel and the Permanent Hotel. And I say every week, and he rang me yesterday, he wanted me to say a little bit more about him, but we can't do that on air. You can get a cold beer, a nice meal, and you'll get some advice whether you ask for it or not from Big Paul Chookie Fowler. Also to Manjimup Tyre Power, who are a terrific sponsor of this league and have been for a very, very long time. So players just about to get into position here. A little bit of light rain, but conditions otherwise terrific. A little bit chilly as the day goes on, so we might have to huddle up in the commentary box. As Hetherington comes to the wing, won the association medal in the Colts last year. Spent a bit of time in Perth playing some Colts with East Perth. In the middle of the ground, with the skipper for Deanmill in East, along with Brandy Armstrong, who'd be a real smoky for the association medal. Armstrong, he's been in terrific form, along with Angus Brisbane, 20 years of age, mind you. Have a look at him. Brock Tempera, Joshua Reeve in the middle as well, along with Tim Myers. Danks fills out the quartet for Imperials, and he'll be up against East. So play just about to get underway. Umpire Mead holds the ball up. Way we go. Brisbane wins it down. Over the back to Myers. First kick of the game goes the way of Imperials. Kicks it long in front. Bailey could have been taken over the shoulder by East. Ball in dispute. Out it comes down to Hall. Birthday boy today, 23. Over to Armstrong. Gets onto his right boot. Goes along the ground to Johnson's first snap on goal. Shallow through for a minor score. Good leap there by big Angus Brisbane. Got over the top of Hall. As Rayson will bring the ball into play. Goes wide. Looks for East. He's found some room. Bounces up nicely for him. Handballs back in board to Ianu. Puts him under pressure. Back to East. Now they're under pressure on the far side of the ground. In comes Ianu to help out. Knocks it out towards Hall. Brisbane's there. Boundary line's close. Umpire lets the play go on. Now there's free kicks being paid. And it's going to go the way of Tim Ianu. Brisbane held the ball underneath. Had time to get it out. Didn't. Ianu hugs the boundary. Looks up there for Edgar. Had a terrific game last week. Drops the mark he should have taken. Tries to get it out to Tempera. Ball in dispute. Socket off the ground. Comes to the big fella Hall. Now the Hawks go inside 50. Mason's there. Couldn't take the grab. Spills over to Wademan. Handballs out towards Hancock. Snap on goal. Touched off the boot by Strawn. It's gone out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. That range just got a little bit heavier. And it seems to be going to the front of the commentary box and then making its way in. But we'll deal with it. Ball to be thrown in. 10 metres out. Strawn to do the ruck work. Gets his player out of the way. Couldn't take clean possession. Ball still in dispute. Far side of the ground. And they come now. Strawn tries to get a handball out. Tempera's there. Player's still in dispute. Umpire lets the ball go on a long time. Now he comes in to throw the ball up. Brock Tempera picks himself up. 40 metres out from Deanmill's goal. 1 point the margin. One down by Brisbane. Favours Myers. Sits up nicely. Pushed off his kick by Reeve. Be reloaded by Deanmill through Blake East. Long and strong, looks for Strawn, gets himself in position, comes from too deep, brings the ball to ground, knocks it out, too far, spills to Myers, Myers to Hall, Myers gets it back, he's under pressure straight away, Armstrong's there, back to Hall, he'll get onto his left boot, not his best kick, Hetherington's got to do a lot of work, Ray Myers comes in comes Johnson, knocked up in the air, Iano calls for it out wide, goes into the middle of the ground, not his best kick, Brisbane on the third grab, being played the mark, didn't control, lucky there, big Angus Brisbane, goes long, Hetherington on the second grab, over the top of Johnson, Jordan Johnson takes the mark, gets onto his left boot, looks for Hall, across the top comes Myers, close to the boundary line, now it goes over. The ball to be thrown in, just forward to centre, right in front of the Deanmill interchange box. Hall up against Brisbane. Brisbane gets him out of the way. Spills out to Johnson. Comes to Baluta. Baluta has East out wide. Gets onto his left boot. It's smothered off the boot by Hall. Comes back towards Corey Johnson. Tackled by Hall. Good tackle by the big ruckman for Deanmill. Wins a free kick right on the forward 50. Too far out to score. Goes to the pocket. Look there for Strawn. Carries over the top of his head. And Samuel Hancock. Ball goes out of bounds. 20 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Yet to score. First score of the match and the only score of the match going the way of Imperials are behind from Johnson. So up they go. Strawn does the ruck work, spills over the back to Beluda. Eggers there, gets a hand on it, gets the handball out towards Tempera. Hancock comes in, picks it up. Now he's under siege. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up 20 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Throwing up, Strawn doing the ruck work, inside 50, spills over to Mason, handballs back to Strawn, wrapped up by Wademan. And the big forward can't do anything with that. Ball to be thrown up, same spot, 20 metres out. Strawn does the ruck work, taps it down to Tempera. It's out the back, ball in dispute. Reeve is there, picks it up, pass through a pack, shot on goal. A free kick's been paid. Joshua Reeve, not a renowned goal kicker, will have his first shot on goal, 20 metres out, 45-degree angle. And I can safely say the whole family's not renowned for goal kicking. Saving them maybe, kicking them not so much. So Joshua Reeve, 20 metres out, didn't play last week. This for Deanmill's opening score. And he comes now. Long run up, shots on its way. Good kick from Reeve. He's put it through. So the first major goes the way of the Hawks. And they're on the board. They're 1 goal straight. Imperials 1 behind. Never in doubt off the boot. How could you doubt him, Fems? Put his head over the ball, won the free kick. And made no mistake from 20 metres out. So they've had all the play. Last 2 or 3 minutes forward. We've got some reward for effort, the Hawks. And 1 goal neat. Imperials, 1 behind. Ball back in the middle. Hall up against Brisbane. Brisbane wins it down again. Myers running loose, but it comes to Blake East. Handball over to Tempera. Quick kick forward. Beluda drops the mark. Out muscled. It comes out wide to Beebe. Harassed there by Edgar. Managed to get his kick away. And finds Corey Johnson. Goes wide. Danks takes the mark. In front of McGinty. Tom Danks. Good pick up. Goes to the top of the square. It's going to land in a real dangerous position. Melenis on his left side. Handball over Gizzarelli. Tried to be clever with it. In comes Race and wins the ball. He's done well there, the youngster. Goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. 40 metres out from Imperials' goal. Impressive, Cooper Racing. Ball lands short. Hall this time gets in front, knocks it forward. Direction of Heverington. His left boot comes inside, not his best kick. Samuel Hancock takes the mark. Has Myers all on his own. Half forward, Tim Myers. Leads come. Good kick too. Nice and low. East couldn't pick it up. Spills out towards Danks. Socket off the ground by Blake East. Edgar's there. Front position. Has Beebe for company today. Beebe dives on the ball. In comes Edgar. Umpire come in and will throw the ball up. 2 kicks out from Imperials' goal. As the sun starts to shine, Hall wins it down in the direction of Reeve. Knocks it out towards Farquhar. Socket off the ground. Beluda will be first there. Tries to pick the ball up. Handballs to his own advantage. Will he run onto it? Keeps the ball in front. Done well there, Beluda. Strawn's there. Heverington. Ball a little bit slippery after that rain. Spills out to Hancock. Here's the call to Myers. Over the top comes East. Stays in play. Comes back to Blake East. Done well. Just drives the ball long. The mark's dropped by Brajovic. Spills over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in. Done well there. The skipper for Deanmill. This time forward to centre. 2 kicks out from Deanmill's goal. Favours Hall the throw in. Knocks it over the back towards Reeve. He's got Armstrong for company. In comes Armstrong. Reeve lays the tackle, so does Farquhar. He's done well. Got out to Hall, then on to Myers. Kick goes wide, looking for East. Bailey in hot pursuit. Sits up nicely for East. Handball's out wide. Kick goes to the top of the square. Callum East is there, along with Melenis. Callum East takes the ball over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in. Right on the point post, 10 metres out from Imperials' goal. Hall up against Danks. Danks does well, knocks it to his own advantage, then handballs it out to Hall. Gets the handball out to Myers. Shot on goal from Myers. Is high and wide, out of bounds on the full. The free kick will go the way of the Hawks and will be taken by Racing. Racing goes short. Finds Tempera. Brock Tempera. Still inside defensive 50. Goes long now, Tempera. Over they come. Big spoil. Goes back inboard. Nearly goes over the top of Hall. In comes East. Hall comes back. Harassed by it. Armstrong. Snap on goal by Armstrong. It's going to land dangerously. Molinas chases it back along with Callum East. But it goes through for a minor score. And the Hawks can reset once again. Racing with the kicking duties. It's Farquhar. Goes long. Looks for Hall. Hall comes from too deep. Strong mark taken by Danks. Comes inboard, looking for Hall. Goes over the top of him. Favours Tempera. Straight up the middle goes Tempera. Hancock in best position. Bounces over him and Demetrio. Wademan's there. In comes Demetrio. Beluda will run onto this. Knocks it to his own advantage. Toigo out the back. Beluda gets rid of him. Follows up. Handballs over to Demetrio. Couldn't get a handle on it. Comes over to Wademan. Done well there, Demetrio. Put the pressure on. In comes Mason. Handballs to no one in particular. Toigo comes back in. Spills out to Johnson. Wrapped up straight away by Beluda. That was Jordan Johnson. Ball to be thrown up just inside forward 50. Deanmill, 1 straight 6. Imperials, 2 behinds. Mason does the ruck work. Wins it down to Heverington. Beautiful tap. Snap on goal from Heverington. Goes across the face of goal. Through for a minor score. Should have done a little better there. Heverington on his right side. He's a left footer. But it didn't bend back. Wademan, kicking duties. Looks for Armstrong. Goes over the top of him. Spills. Armstrong holds his feet. Then soccers off the ground in the direction of Danks. Oanu, first there. Picks it up nicely. Wills back inside. Goes long, strong. Looking for Strawn. Couldn't take the mark on the second grab. Wademan come in. Demetrio tries to soccer it off the ground. Spills out the back. Strawn's there. Now Beebe. Goes wide. Good kick too. It's gone out of bounds. Free kick go the way of Tempera. Brock Tempera just too far out to score. It's a beautiful kick of the footy. Goes long, looks for Mason, puts his jukes up. Full stretch, Riley Mason. Takes a terrific overhead mark. Go back 20 metres out, directly in front. Good kick from Tempera. Just had enough to carry Toigo. Found the arms, outstretched arms of Mason. In he comes now, couple of steps Mason. Good kick as well. So second major goes the way of the Hawks. 2 goals, 1, 13. Imperials, 2 behinds. The early stages, the first quarter. Good mark by Mason. And his reward is he'll come to the bench. That's where you want to mark the footy, 20 metres out directly in front. He made no mistake. So end-to-end stuff from both sides. 11 minutes to go in this opening quarter. 11 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. Ball's in the middle. Hall wins it down. Has Constable for company. Free kick goes the way of Brock Tempera. Handballs over to East. Runs on the favoured side for a left footer. Drives the ball low. Looking for Demetrio. Good kick. Demetrio drops the mark he should have taken. Comes out. In comes Ionu. Picks it up nicely. Handballs over to Hall. Then over to Fall. Knocks it forward. Myers is there. Beluda does well. Picks it up. Handballs back towards Ionu. Just drives the ball high up and under. Strawn will come from too deep. Spoils his own man. Spills out towards Heverington. How will it sit? Favours Hall. Picks it up nicely. Gets the handball back to Johnson. Goes in the middle of the ground. Finds Danks. takes a mark in front of McGinty. Tom Danks has a player wide, and Gizzarelli decides not to. Goes longer, looks down there for Molinas. East could have given the free kick away, bounces up for racing, slips over as he was about to get rid of the footy. Now the ball's in dispute. Umpire will come and throw the ball up. Right on the half-forward line for Imperials. 11 points the margin halfway through this first quarter. Hall wins it down, but knocks it straight to Myers. Knocked out of his hands by Tempera. Having a good first quarter. Comes out to Ianu. Gives the handball back to Hall. His kick is smothered and spills out of bounds. Far side of the ground. Ball to be thrown in. Tempera. Plenty of the footy in opening 10 minutes of this first quarter. Hall up against Constable. Wins it down. It'll favour McGinty. Can he get a handle on it? Won't sit up for him, the youngster. He's done well. Gets the ball back to Baluta. Looking there for Strawn. Slips over right as he's about to mark it. Spills out the back to Hancock. Drives it down the wing once again. From behind come Blake East. Make the spoil. The ball goes out of bounds. We'll reset once again. Far side of the ground. 9.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. 11 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. Hall wins it down. Straight to Farquhar. Good tap. Assesses his options. Goes towards the pocket looking for Demetrio. He's got to get in front. In they come now. Ball spills out to Beebe. He has a bounce. Won't come back to him. Does so now. Puts himself into trouble. Johnson falls over. In comes Myers. Head-high tackle on fall. That was Danks. So Fall goes inboard. No talk. Spills out the back to Tempera. He'll run into an open goal. Tempera! 3 on the trot to the Hawks. Lucky bounce. Landed with Brock Tempera, who's having some sort of quarter. And he gets himself on the scoreboard. Not much talk between Demetrio and Strawn. Usually better than that. But Tempera bounced up nicely, ran in from 20 metres out and popped it through. A 3-1-19, 17 points to margin, 2 behinds Imperials, ball back in the middle, Eggers in there, a free kick's been paid. It's going to go the way of Deanmill. Blake East assesses his situation, has a player short, it's Gledhill, takes the mark. Bronson Gledhill, he goes wide, dangerous kick, Johnson takes the juggle mark, that's Jordan Johnson, right on halfback. Comes towards the commentary box, looks for Danks, couldn't take it in one-handed, gets around 3 players, one of them's McGinty, goes inboard, looks for Armstrong. And in front of him, mark taken by Corey Johnson. No one mans the mark. Now he's worked it out, goes long and strong and wide, looks there for East. Bailey, 3 metres behind him, needs to close that gap. Does so, comes over the back towards Armstrong, right on 50, comes inboard, spoiled by Hall, but it's going to favour Zach Hall of Imperials, over to Danks, then to Gizzarelli, gets onto his left, Gizzarelli! And he puts it through. Scott Gizzarelli. Bread and butter for him, the left footer, he knows where the goals are. So Archie Hall made the spoil, favoured Zach Hall. Handball come out to Gizzarelli on the right side for a left footer. He made no mistake. Close to the post, but did enough to get through. So 1-2, Imperials 8, 3-1-19. Margin back to 11 points. 7.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Edgar now in the middle, along with Farquhar. Brisbane jumping over the top of Hall. Free kick's been paid. It's going to go the way of Zach Hall. Birthday for him today. Starting to get his hands on the footy. Gets onto his left boot. Low kick. Looks for Molinas. And Molinas takes the mark in front of Callum East. And he'll have a shot on goal from right on 50. And this will test him. He'll be right on his distance here. Kane Melenis. Terrific kick from Zach Hall. And plenty of space down there too for Melenis to run into. But Kane Melenis, normally a fullback. And he comes now, a kick from right on 50. Kicks on its way. It's going to get to the top of the square. Has it got enough distance? It sure has. So back-to-back goals for Imperials. And that margin, now 5 points. Distance, no problem for Melenis.
Try and get Jazza when you can. Yeah.
So Hall, they got a lot of left footers in this team. Gizzarelli, Melenis, Hall, all involved in the last 2 goals. 2 goals, 2. Imperials, 3 goals, 1. Deanmill, 6.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Archie Hall up against Brisbane. Tries a different tack. Works for him. Favours Edgar. Couldn't get a handle on the ball. Comes back towards Brisbane. Handball's back out. Comes out towards Toigo. Deanmill have the numbers. Help comes Brajovic. Wins it out. Comes towards the commentary box. Looks for Johnson. That's Jordan Johnson. Carries him. Lands on the chest of Riley Hetherington. Goes short. Finds 4. Looks down for Kobe Brown. Cutting across in front was Waderman. In comes Strawn. Needs to get his hand on the footy. Comes out towards Reeve. Tries to break the tackle of Waderman. Does so. Gets to Gledhill. His kick is smothered by Beebe. Knocks it out towards Edgar. Smother once again. Comes out to Brajovic. Gets a handball out. Cut off by Beluda. Hall getting himself involved. In comes Beluda. Tries to knock it back out towards Brown. Young Kobe Brown. Beebe's there. Brown wraps him up. Umpire to throw the ball up. Right on forward 50. Deanmill trying to get one back. Good tap from Hall to Gledhill. Gets knocked off his kick. Comes to Toigo. Gets around a couple. Comes in board. Dangerous kick looking for Myers. Spills over the back to East. It's onto his left boot. Looks a handball. Now he kicks it. Long and strong. Open space. Asking a fair bit of Strawn. Bounces up nicely. Tries to knock it out towards Ianu. Ianu knocks it forward. Goes over the boundary line. Right in front of the scoreboard. The ball to be thrown in. 30 metres out from Deanmill's goal. And their lead is 5 points. 5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Strawn gets his player out of the way. Takes clean possession. Smothered by Armstrong. Hurry kick out. Ianu with Raymond Myers for company. Ball goes out of bounds. Be thrown in 50 metres out. Far side of the ground. All up against Brisbane. Wins it down. Goes straight to Myers. He handballs back to Brisbane. The big fella Brisbane kicks the ball long. Bailey, best position. Puts one hand out. Couldn't take the mark. Melenis does well. But his handball is cut off by Farquhar. They have the numbers here. Hetherington, been good in this first quarter. Ball won't sit up for him. Comes out to Jordan Johnson. Handballs back inboard towards Zach Hall. Over towards Melenis. He could have been taken high by Johnny East. In they come now, Johnson. Melenis takes the mark. Goes low. Looks for Gizzarelli. Bounces at his feet. Comes back towards Callum East. Snap on goal from Max East. And in the space of a couple of minutes, Imperials hit the front 3 in a row. Some sloppy work at 50. Melenis played on. Gizzarelli done well. Found the arms of Max East and he put it through. So the opening 3 goals of this quarter went the way of the Hawks. The next 3 have gone the way of Imperials and they find themselves with a 1-point lead. And 4 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Hall wins it down, knocks it forward, comes to Reeve, wrapped up by Armstrong. No prior, umpire to throw the ball up, right in the middle of the ground. Hall wins it down, looking there for Blakey's, comes out the back towards Toigo. Jordan Johnson's there, in comes Hetherington. Spills out back to Jordan Johnson from Corey Johnson. The umpire will do it all over again. just forward to centre, Deanmill's way. Brisbane just powers it forward, lands towards Hall, spills out the back towards Blake East, tries a wormbirder looking for Reeve, comes to Strawn, tries to handball back to Reeve, does so, has a player wide in full, has a bit of time. Gledhill has found some space. Bronson Gledhill takes a mark in front of Toygo. Has a player wide, has plenty of options. And one of them is Strawn. 30 metres out, directly in front. He'll go back to give the lead back to the Hawks. Jordan Strawn. And he comes, couple of steps. And he's pushed it right, but he's done enough. A little bit of confusion. Umpire will come in and confer with the goal umpire. Still conferring. Goal. So after all that, Strawn gets a goal. So all individual goal kickers, and he puts the Hawks back in front by 5 points. With 3 minutes to go in this opening quarter. Loose checking there by Imperials defence. Can't let the power forward have that much space. Good kick from Gledhill as well. So Archie Hall up against Brisbane. He's had some troubles. Brisbane wins it down once again. Goes towards Myers. Umpire said, looked like a handball from here, but he's been pinged. And Archie Hall wins a free kick in the middle of the ground. Gets onto his left boot. Looks down for Mason. And the second grab nearly takes a mark. Spills out towards Armstrong. Comes out to Beebe. Beebe goes to Myers. They have the numbers. One of them is Kobe Brown. Comes back inboard to Tim Ioanu. Goes wide looking for Strawn. Misses his mark. The man taking the mark is Hancock. Strawn providing a good lead. Target not met. Hancock been called to play on. Kicks it long. Far side of the ground. Blake East. Front and centre. Wins it down towards Tempera, who's had a good first quarter. Ball goes over the boundary line. A little bit of help from Ray Myers. Ball to be thrown in. Still 2 kicks out from Deanmill's goal. They hold a 5-point margin. This time Hall wins it down. Comes to Armstrong. Has a bit of space. Wheels down looking for East. Over the top of him came Bailey. Ball spills out the back. Melenis is there. In comes Bailey for help. Callum East comes in, leaves the ball for Blake East. Interesting handball back to Bailey. Goes long, looking there for Ioanu. Well met by Armstrong. In comes Tempera. Rings the ball up, gets a handball out towards Archie Hall. Chucks it onto his left boot. Carries the pack over towards Strawn. Hancock mitts it at full pace. Goes inboard, finds Myers, middle of the ground. Handballs back to Hancock. Runs forward, looks there for East, drops the mark he should have taken, comes out to Gizzarelli, has a player running through the middle, and that's Zach Hall. He takes the mark directly in front of goal, 45 metres out, and this to give Imperials back the lead. So loose checking, Zach Hall, terrific young player, and he comes now. Kicks on its way, high, up, under, does it hold its line? Does so. Imperials back in front, late stages first quarter. As Hall hits the scoreboard, that's a good kick. I'm not one for stats, because I didn't get many, but 3 out of the 4 goal kickers for Imperials, all left footers, Gizzarelli, Melenis, and now Hall. And he's playing in the middle of the ground, so they need to man up. Clever kick from Gizzarelli to come inboard. Brisbane wins it backwards and favours Johnson. Had a good first quarter. Players peel off him, goes to the middle of the ground, looks for Armstrong, carries his head, goes over the top to Danks, back to Armstrong, back-to-back goals for Armstrong. Misses. Been closely checked in his first quarter. Armstrong found some space. Can be disappointed with that. Less than a minute to go, opening quarter. Racing, kick-in duties. Has Ione short. He'll look long for Hall. Has Brisbane. You won't shift him out of the way. Curry's over the back from Johnson. They come now. Ball still in dispute. Jordan Johnson's wrapped up by Archie Hall. Just outside, defensive 50 for the Hawks. Brisbane wins it back. Bounces over the top of Blake East, but he's been tackled without it. He wins the free kick. The umpire explains what that free kick was all about. We'll come right in front of the commentary box. We've got a good view of this one. Brisbane, he's a big kid. He's 20 years of age. Have a look at him. Got rid of Hall easily. Umpire to throw the ball up. Right in front of the commentary box. Imperials holding a 2-point lead. Brisbane wins it down. Spills out towards Myers. Had a good first quarter. Comes to Armstrong. Back to Myers. Kick inside 50. How will it land? Danks misses a mark. Spills over the back to East. The direction of Ianu. And what a first quarter of footy. Here at Coaching Up Sporting Complex first semi-final. It sees Imperials with back-to-back goals to end that quarter. They are 4 goals, 3-27, the 4-1-25. They hold a 2-point margin. Goals to Gizzarelli, Melenis, East and Hall for Imperials. And for Deanmill, Reeve got the scoring underway. Mason, Brock Tempera and Strawn. We'll go into quarter time. 2-point margin to Imperials. We'll be back shortly with the second quarter. 4-3-27 to 4-1-25. Quarter time, first semi-final, La Salle West Footy League. So players just moving into position for this second quarter, which sees Imperials hold a 2-point lead, 4 goals, 3-27, 4-1-25. Good opening quarter of footy. Over the top of him, comes to Tempera, holds his feet, drives the ball long. First clearance goes the way of the Hawks. It'll favour Gledhill, sits up for him, comes back to him. Now he's been caught holding the ball. Good tackle, Brajovic, who wins the free kick. Just inside defensive 50. Goes inboard, finds Hall. They'll need to tighten up on Hall. Has a player running wide, Waderman. Demetrio, got to work hard, brings the ball to ground. He might have hurt himself there, Demetrio. Handballs back out towards Armstrong. Has Reeve for company. Good tackle by Reeve. Now he's been legged, so tackle fell. So unlucky there. Armstrong wins a free kick right in front of the commentary box. The inspirational leader for the Imperials Footy Club. Good kick. Finds the chest of Danks. Danks goes inside 50, looking for East. Over the top come Bailey, comes back towards East. Casually waltzes through the pack, gets it back to Hall. Good kick looking for Melenis. Free kick could have been paid, spills over the back. Gizzarelli, he'll run into an open goal, Gizzarelli. And he gets his second. Margin out to 8 points. So it's a good spoil by Bailey. Man, he just got stuck to the ground. Max East waltzed through, come out to Hall, found Gizzarelli with all the space in the world. He ran his full measure into an open goal. So the opening goal, second quarter, away of Imperials. Gizzarelli gets his second. Callum East up against Brisbane, runs into him, comes back to Tempera, having a terrific game. Inside 50, looks long and deep for Strawn, bounces in front of him, Hancock's there, close to the boundary line. Strawn do here, keeps it in play, still in play. Now it's helped over the boundary line, Baluta and Beattie. Ball to be thrown in 40 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Strawn, it's Mason, does the ruck work, snap, comes to Gledhill, snap on goal from Gledhill. Minor score. A little bit of a lull at the opening stages of this second quarter. This is to get themselves into a prelim final, either team. 7 points to margin. Sam Hancock to bring the ball into play. Goes short. Hall takes the mark. Gledhill closed. Zach Hall goes in the middle looking for Danks. Takes an uncontesting mark in front of Archie Hall. Too easy. Danks, good player. Hall runs past. Danks will go wide. Long, strong, looks for Myers and takes a good mark in front of his eyes. Plays on straight away to Waderman. Got McGinty, good kick from Waderman. Finds Melenis. East misses of spoil. Melenis will run into another open goal. He's missed. You can't afford to fall over today or any other day. Melenis should have done better. He'd be disappointed. That margin back out to 8 points. Ball's brought back into play. Lands in front of Johnny East. Sells a bit of candy to Zach Hall. Wheels around. Looks for McGinty. Could have been front on contact. Comes over to Brisbane. That big knock forward. Blake East couldn't pick the ball up. Spills to Zach Hall. Gets around 1, 2. Tackled by Zach Hall. Melenis gets it. Kick across goal. Lands on the chest of Max East. And he'll have a shot on goal from 45 metres out. 45-degree angle. This for his second as well. Max East. Bailey stands the mark. Kicks on its way. It's a good kick from East as well. So the opening 2 goals of the second quarter go the way of the Imperials. They've opened up a game-high margin. They need to do better when they go forward, the Hawks. Too wide. And it plays into Imperials' hands. 6 goals, 440, 4-2-26, 14 points the margin. Early stages, second quarter. East gets his second. Joins Gizzarelli with a couple. The Melenis and Hall, one apiece. So ball back in the middle. Callum East up against Brisbane. Brisbane dominating in the ruck. This man's winning it out in tempera. He's tackled by Myers. Good tackle from Myers. He wins the free kick. Tempera couldn't get the kick away. Tim Myers has a player short. Kicks into the man on the mark. Ball spills out. Blake East tries to soccer off the ground. Comes out to Joshua Reeve. Handball over to Farquhar. Goes long to McGinty. Picks it up nicely. Goes down the wing looking for Edgar, and he takes the mark in front of Beebe. Edgar, he'll go long. He'll look for Mason. Good kick too. Lands in front of Mason. Claim the mark. Hit the ground. Hancock lays the tackle. Umpire to throw the ball up. Right on forward 50. Better ball movement from the Hawks. And they need one while it's down here at the moment. Mason wins it down. Looking there for Farquhar. Got Hall for company. Hall picks it up. Wrapped up by Farquhar. Umpire letting the play go on. Now it's gone out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in just inside forward 50 for the Hawks. They find themselves 14 points down. Mason doing the ruck work. Comes back to Mason. Couldn't get the handball away. Comes out towards Beebe. Then Mason tries to get the kick away. Tackled by Myers. Managed to get a little bit on it. Strawn couldn't pick the ball up. In they come now. Comes over to Edgar. Dances around a couple. Handballs back to Beluda. Tries to spin around one. Comes back to Constable. Drives the ball long. Favours Hall. Having a terrific game. Tackled by Farquhar. Players come in. High up and under from Cameron. Danks in front position. Takes a good mark in front of Hall. Danks. Good target at centre half forward. Right in front of the commentary box. Looks for East. Over the top came Bailey. Shark there by Gizzarelli. Comes back to Bailey. Drives it in the middle of the ground. Beluda's got a couple on his player. Drops the mark. That was Myers. Handballs out from Beluda to Ianu. Goes long. Looks there for the big fella Strawn. Couldn't take the mark. Ball comes back out to Beebe. Handballs into open space. In comes Edgar. Gets around a couple. Tries to handball back to Ianu. Comes back towards Beebe. Pushed in the back. Beebe wins the free kick. At halfback. Goes wide. Finds Johnson. Corey has a bounce. Goes short and finds Melenis. Takes the mark in front of Jonty East. Comes inboard to Danks. Right on forward 50. Danks plays on. Goes towards goal. Looks for Gizzarelli. That's a good kick from Danks. Takes the mark in front of Rayson. Gizzarelli will go back for his third. Get this margin out to 20 points. So Danks proving a handful at half forward. Gizzarelli, left footer. Kicks on its way. It's trying to come back. Not enough. Through for a minor score. So another let off for the Hawks. Melenis and now Gizzarelli missed what they should have kicked. Rayson will bring the ball into play. Runs out of the square. Goes long, strong, down the far side of the ground. Looks for Hall. Had to make the spoil. Spoils it back to his opponent. But it comes to McGinney. Hall knocks it forward towards Ianu. Ball won't sit up for him. In comes Max East. Handballs out to Armstrong. Gets around a couple. Comes inboard to Myers. Having a terrific game. Puts it high up and under for Johnson. Hetherington makes a spoil, spills out towards Melenis, then over to Armstrong, knocks it forward. Tackled high there was Rayson, comes out to East, over to Hetherington, drives the ball long. But the big frame of Brisbane takes the mark. Awkward ball drop, but it's going to get inside 50. Gizzarelli does some body work, comes out to Johnson. Ball sits up, in comes Farquhar, uses his body. Now he's wrapped up by Gizzarelli. Right on forward 50 for Imperials. They are up and about. 15 points the margin. Hall does the ruck work. Out muscled by Brisbane. Goes towards Reeve. Wrapped up by Armstrong. Umpire to throw the ball up once again. Hall, high up and under, comes to Melenis, gets a handball out towards Hall, too hot for him, knocks it forward to his own advantage. Will it sit in play? Does so. Hall could have been leg, gets around one, then two, and Heverington lays the tackle. The umpire's paid high, and Hall wins the free kick. Looked like he paid dropping the ball, goes inboard, good kick. He's found Danks. They need to man up on this guy. He is having a quarter and a half. Is Tom Danks. He'll kick from 45 degree angle. We're right behind this one. Hasn't hit the scoreboard as yet, but it's been involved. 3 or 4 goals for his side. Danks. In he comes. He stands the mark. Kicks on its way. Goes straight in. Comes back to Danks. Closes the gap. Shot on goal. Hits the post. Well, that's one way of gaining a few metres. Couldn't get past the big frame of Callum East. Fell back to Danks. And that's another let-off. Rayson brings the ball back into play. Goes short. Finds Tempera. Has some space. Has a bounce. Goes down the far side of the ground. Looks there for Ianu. Works his player under the ball. Takes a good mark. Handballs on straight away to McGinty. Good, goes short. Finds Strawn. What can Strawn do from here? Goes wide, looking for Demetrio. Too wide. Ball crosses the boundary line. Goes out of bounds. 30 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Imps have all the answers. Imperials have all the answers so far. Hall does the ruck work. Comes over the back to Toigo. Knocks it back to Baluta. Over to Ianu. Shot on goal from Ianu. And through for a minor score. So they need to make the most of their opportunities. They haven't kicked a goal in this second quarter. Nearly halfway through. 12 minutes to go. And 2-0 in favour of the Imperials. Sees them hold a 15-point lead. Hancock brings the ball into play. Goes long. Looks for Danks. It's going to fall short. Fall in front. Had to make the spoil in front of Toigo. Goes over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in. Two kicks out from Deanmill's goal. Hall to do the ruck work. Brisbane tries to knock it forward. Comes over towards full for Deanmill. Reeves in there for Deanmill along with Brisbane. Ball's going nowhere. Umpire to throw the ball up. One down by Hull. Comes towards Johnson. Kick smothered. Comes Johnson once again. Ball still in play. What's happening there, Fems? It's a little bit of a tight angle for all of us in the timekeeper's box, but the ball will be thrown in. No ruckman wins it down, comes back over to Armstrong, tries to get the handball over towards Brisbane. Tempera's there, wins it out to Hall, wrapped up straight away, comes over to Myers. Cameron gets a handball over to Armstrong, goes through the middle of the ground looking for East. That's Max East for Imperials, sits up nicely for him. Goes back towards Toigo. Now Max East gets it back, goes short. Tempera will cut across. Myers couldn't take the mark, neither could Tempera. Wrapped up, puts himself under pressure. As in come Corey Johnson. So right in the middle of the Kojonup football oval, umpire throws the ball up. Hall knocks it forward. East will run onto this, comes to Baluta, tries to get the handball out, does so to Fall. Tackle straight away, back to Toigo. Awkward looking kick, goes wide, looking for Hall. Takes a good mark in front of Brown. Far side of the ground, Zach Hall. Goes inboard, looking for Danks. Giving this bloke too much space. He goes inboard, looks for Johnson. Heverington tries to take the mark. Comes down, favours Heverington. Tries to handball the ball back. Gizzarelli steals it. Goes on the check side, left foot. And through for a minor score. They just need to limp into half-time here, the Hawks. There's still 10 minutes to go in this second quarter. as Jonty East brings the ball into play. Runs his full measure, goes long and strong. Strawn's pushed up, drops the mark. In comes Hancock, cut off by Blake East. Crawling across the ground, does well East, tries to knock the ball out. Johnson of the Corey variety wraps him up. Hall wins it down, knocks it forward. Comes to Reeve. Reeves wrapped up. That's by Alex Hancock. And that ball was going nowhere. Hall knocks it forward with conviction. Myers is first back. He's had a game. Comes to Tempera. Tries to get the handball out to Beluda. Spills out to Toygo. Heverington on the back foot. In comes Johnson. Wrapped up by Tempera once again. Edgar spills out to Beebe. Beebe close to the boundary. Will it stay in play? Reeve reaches over Armstrong. He's given away the free kick. It'll go the way of the captain for Imperials in Brandy Armstrong. Player loose in East. It's Constable. Goes short. Brown comes across the front of Hall. Spills out the back to Archie Hall for Deanmill. Knocks it into open space. Beluda runs onto it. High up and under. Has it gone the required distance? Has. Zach Hall takes the mark. They reload once again. Blake East tries to win the ball down. Johnson comes out to Corey Johnson. Gets a handball back to Hall. Goes long inside 50. They have the numbers. Ianu's there. Couldn't take the mark. Gets the handball out to McGinty. Back to Ianu. Far side of the ground. Wademan will be first back for Imperials. Sits nicely for him. Charlie Wademan puts himself under pressure by falling over. Comes to Demetrio. Good hands to Kobe Brown. Goes short. Finds Strawn. Too far out to score. 60 metres out. Goes long. Top of the square. Hancock runs back. Gets a hand on it. So that wind is quite strong and nearly carried to the goal line. Hancock rushed it through for a minor score. That wasn't me. Ball to be brought back into play by Samuel Hancock. That was Alex Hancock. So Samuel brings it in to Alex. Still deep inside defensive 50, Imperials. Goes long, looks for Danks. McGinty's there, brings the ball to ground. East front and centre, gets on his left side, gets it back to Hall, drives it long. Beluda should have done better. Just put one hand up, crosses over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in, 30 metres out. 6 goals, 7, 43, 4-4, 28 in favour of Imperials. 15 points the margin. 8 minutes to go in this second quarter. Strawn does the ruck work. Over the top comes Samuel Hancock. Comes to Armstrong. Reeve is there. In comes Strawn. Tries to get a clever handball towards Tempera. Too hot for him. Over to Samuel Hancock. Kicks on its way. Brown does well. The youngster comes out towards Ianu. Tackled straight away by Hall. Comes in the middle of the ground to Edgar. Tries to keep the ball in play. Spills out to Brown. Myers is there. Comes to Hall. Wrapped up. Ball comes back in the middle of the ground towards Danks. Sockers it off the ground to his own advantage. Got Edgar there. Does well there, Danks. Gets it out towards Constable. Handballs back towards Hancock. Wrapped up by Beluda. Tries to bust his way through the pack. Gains a few metres. The ball to be thrown up. Right on the forward 50 for the Hawks. Yet to hit the scoreboard in the major variety in this quarter. Knock comes towards Reeve from Hall. Gets it onto his left boot. Tempera's there. Beluda's there. Ball still in dispute. Comes back out. Over to fall. High. Up. Under. How will it sit? Wademan does well. Opposed by Demetrio. And the ball goes out of bounds. So 15 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Still plenty of time left in this second quarter. And 15 points the margin. Throw in favours Strawn. Sit down. Smothered by East. Armstrong will be first back. Picks it up nicely. The ball goes out of bounds. So the lasso free kick taken by McGinty. Goes inside 50. Strawn couldn't take the mark. Alex Hancock does the roving. Wields around. Nearly marks another 50-metre line. As Sam Hancock receives the ball wrapped up by Reeve. That ball's going nowhere. Umpire to throw the ball up right on 50. Hall gets front position, takes clean possession. Handballs towards Tempera. Beebe sees it over the line. And once again, the ball to be thrown in 30 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Hall wins it forward. Toigo takes clean possession, comes back to Hall. Over to David Fall. Just chucks it onto his boot. Cross in front as Beebe was about to mark. Comes Tempera. Picked up by Waderman. High up and under. They clear it again. East could have been interfered with. Comes back towards East. Gets it over to Hall. Chucks it onto his left boot. Demetrio comes from behind. Waderman, the experienced backman, knocks it over the boundary line. Ball will be thrown in once again, 35 metres out. Deanmill's goal. It's been down there for the last 1 or 2 minutes. I can't get it close enough to get a score. Hall takes clean possession, ripped out of his arms, comes towards Armstrong. Armstrong breaks the tackle of Reeve, goes back in the middle of the ground. They have the numbers. Farquhar will be first back. How will it sit for him? Farquhar took his eyes off the ball, comes to Myers, tries to handball out to East. Max East for Imperials, comes wide towards Armstrong, goes down the boundary line, good kick, finds the chest to Melenis. Melenis will go inboard. Players streaming through the middle. One of them is Zach Hall, misses the mark he should have taken, has time to settle, goes wide, looking for Danks, has McGinty for company. McGinty knocks it back towards Danks. Danks is tackled. In they come again. Full tries to knock it off the ground. That was Farquhar. Ball to be thrown up. And they have all the answers here. Just inside forward 50 for Imperials. Danks goes up unopposed. Wins it down towards Melenis. Melenis to Gizzarelli. Ball's going to go inside 50 once again. Blake East works back. They couldn't pick the ball up. Comes to Blake East. Just chucks it onto his left boot. Armstrong's there. A good mark is taken by Sale Constable. Already played a game in the Colts. Has a player in the middle of the ground. That's Waderman. And Waderman takes the mark. He goes short. Finds Johnson. Johnson has another player short. In comes Blake East with a spoil. Favours Ianu. Gets the handball back to Blake East. Goes through the middle of the ground. Good kick. Fall drops a mark he should have taken. Now he's put himself under pressure. Pulls the ball back in. Players come in. Umpire says, give it to me. Ball to be thrown up right at the half-forward line. For Imperials, handball comes out from Full to Reeve. He gets it back to Heverington. Better ball movement. Goes long. Looks for Mason. Couldn't take the mark. Comes back to him. Gets the handball over to Strawn. Strawn goes wide. Looking for Tempera. Tempera takes the mark. 25 metres out. Tight angle. And this to get their first goal of the second quarter. Just under 4 minutes to play. Brock Tempera already with a goal. And he comes now. Deliberate shot on goal. He's done well there. He gets his second. So out of all that, out of nowhere, better ball movement through the middle of the ground. Fall put his body on the line. Out to Reeve to Heverington. They went down with some conviction. Mason gave a good contest, second effort. Got it back to Strawn. He kicked short to Brock Tempera, and from 30 metres out, tight angle, he made no mistake. So 5 goals, 4-34. 9 points the margin, 6-7-43 in favour of Imperials. 3.5 minutes to go in this first half. They go. Hall wins it down. Just shovels it forward. It's going to favour Zach Hall of Imperials. In they come now. Heavily met by Edgar. Gets the ball out. Comes to Farquhar. Handballs out into open space. Tempera lays a tackle. Done well. Comes out towards Cameron. Tempera runs after him. The ball's going to land in open space. Gizzarelli's there, along with Constable. Allows Constable to get it, then handballs to Gizzarelli. Goes inboard, looking for East. Misses a mark he should have taken. Comes over the back to Racing. Goes long. Tempera gets front position. Beebe handballs back out towards Farquhar. He can give the ball off. Decides to kick. Goes long. Not his best effort. The mark's taken by Brajovic. Goes short. Finds Johnson. Jordan Johnson. East gets in front. Uncannily takes the mark in front of Max East. Good kick too. Looks for Gledhill. Couldn't take the mark. Fell over. Comes out to Gizzarelli, pushing down the ground now. Gets onto his left boot. He'll look for Danks. And that kick is wide. McGinty will reload. Can they get one here before half time? Plays on. McGinty goes long. Inside 50. Mason calls Gledhill out and takes the mark. 48 metres out. Riley Mason. He'll look for options. He handballs to Tempera. Tempera closes. Shots on its way from Tempera. 2 in a row to Rock Tempera. And the Hawks show some light towards half time. Tempera gets his third. Good kick from Tempera from range. Mason knew he couldn't make the distance. Tempera run around behind him. Shot on goal, out of nowhere, margin back to 3 points. Still in favour of Imperials, 6-7 to 6-4. Back-to-back goals to Brock Tempera. That margin under a goal. Be Hall up against Brisbane, the big fella. No ruckman wins it down, comes to Edgar, now in the middle of the ground, wheels around, goes short, clever kick, finds Blake East. Had Hall running past. That's Archie Hall. Goes longer. Looks down there for Mason. And the big Chester Riley Mason takes the mark in front of Waiterman. 40 metres out. 45-degree angle. In the blink of an eye. Goal here will give the Hawks back the lead. Riley Mason. In he comes. Kicks on its way, it holds it, it's line, Mason. And out of nowhere, 3 in a row to the Hawks, and they've hit the front by 3 points. Mason gets his second. Clever kick in the middle by Edgar. Found Blake East. Had Hall running past, decided to go longer. And found the chest of Riley Mason. He made no mistake, 40 out. 7 goals 4 to 6 goals 7. 3 points to margin in front of the Hawks. Just over a minute to go. Second quarter. Hall wins it down. It's going to come out the back towards Zach Hall. Having a terrific half. Gets a kick back in the middle. Armstrong couldn't take the mark on the second grab. Has Reeve there for company. Tackled as he was about to get rid of the ball. Does so. Gets it back to Hall from Johnson. Goes looking for the big fella in Brisbane. Ball bounces past him, comes to Johnson, he's tackled, play on, this is Hetherington, now he runs himself into trouble. That was always going to end that way when you see a big fella like that coming in. Over the top comes Racing, couldn't make the spoil, spills out towards Myers. Myers handballs back inboard to Hall, Zach Hall goes wide, finds Brandy Armstrong right on 50. He won't have the distance. Good kick of the footy. Goes into the pocket. Puts Racing under pressure. Could have taken the mark or played the free kick. Spills out towards Edgar. Ball in dispute. Umpire says, give it to me. 30 metres out from Imperials' goal. The only team that can score before half time. Less than a minute to go. Clean possession. Kick on its way. Through for a minor score. 2 points the margin. Racing, bring the ball back into play. He'll go short and find McGinty. So McGinty holds it up, still deep inside 50. Has a player running for him in Farquhar. Farquhar goes short. Gledhill drops another mark. Could have been pushed in the back. Gledhill wins. Well, the majority of that second quarter belonged to Imperials. They went out to a 15-point lead. But the last 5 minutes, that was all Deanmill, and it was all Brock Tempera. He got 2 in a row, and then Mason took a terrific mark. They just changed their forward line up a little bit. Mason and Strawn down there. Mason took a good mark from 40 metres out. Well, he put the Hawks in front out of nowhere. And they'll go into the half with a 2-point lead. 6 goals, 8, 44. The 7 goals, 4, 46. Terrific game of footy. Goal scorers for the Deanmill. Reeves got 1, Mason 2, Tempera 3, and Strawn 1. And for Imperials, Gizzarelli and Max East have 2 apiece. Molinas and Zach Hall, who's having a game and a half in the middle of the ground. We'll be back shortly. 2 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. The loser, well, it's Mad Monday tomorrow for the winner. Well, they'll get to take on the loser between Bridgetown and Kojonup in a couple of weeks' time. Back shortly with the second half.
No problems.
Both teams back out on the ground. Margin 2 points in favour of Deanmill as they kicked the last 3 goals of that second quarter. Out of nowhere, really. Imps dominated all over the ground up until time on in that second quarter. And Brock Tempera, well, he's been Deanmill's best by a long, long way. He's got 3, kicked 2 in that second quarter. Also Mason kicked 1 from 40 metres out, tight angle, and that put the Hawks back in front after they got behind by 15 points. So before we start, sponsors, Great Southern Fuels, Egg Free, Delta Ag, Kimberley Accommodation Group, UDF Trailers, Corrigan Hotel, Wild Gravel, Alum Lube, Dartfish, Archie's, Omnibus, Classic Clashes, Gallagher, Premium Grains for your grain needs. Go and see Premium Grains, Manjimup Gateway Hotel and Permanent Hotel. You can get a cold drink, a nice feed, and a little bit of advice, whether you like it or not, from Big Paul Chookie Fowler. Terrific pickup for the local community. Manjimup and Pemberton. Holds the ball off. Archie Hall up against Brisbane. Away we go, second half. Brisbane wins it down. Done well, comes towards Myers. Comes back towards Joshua Reed. Chucks it onto his boot. Beluda gets his player under the ball. Knocks it forward. Wins it. Tackled nicely by Beebe. Done well there, Colby Beebe. Runs down Beluda just as he was about to kick the ball. Good kick, spots up Armstrong. Plays on, goes in the middle of the ground. Not his best kick. This time Gledhill takes the mark. Has Demetrio running for him. Not his best kick. Comes out towards Waderman. Gets around a couple. Goes wide. Finds Armstrong. Still inside defensive 50. Now they're out. Looks down for Danks. Sits up nicely. Gets around the tackle of McGinney. Wheels around onto his right boot. Myers in best position to take the mark. Does so over the top of Brock Tempera. Plays on. First inside 50. Goes the way of Imperials. East juggles the mark. Luckily, as he fell over, Callum East takes a nice mark. Has Rayson, middle of the ground, can take it and go. Youngster, Cooper Rayson, goes wide, looks for Blake East. Tries to get his player underneath the ball in Corey Johnson. Johnson does well, then soccers off the ground. In they come, Ianu's there, bounces up nicely. Long handball looking for Blake East. Sits up, could have been tackled, gets around one. Drives it onto his left boot, high up and under. Gledhill in front position, drops the mark. Wins the ball back, comes inboard to Ianu, middle of the ground. Has a player short in Hall. Hall takes the mark inside the centre square. Nice hands to Gledhill. Crosses 50. Shot on goal from Gledhill. Gets to the top of the square. Mason loses his opponent. Takes the mark. 10 metres out. 45-degree angle. Mason going for goal number 3. Just lost his direct opponent. In he comes, couple of steps, he's missed. Hit the post, Mason. So a let off. Lost young Cameron there. The mark, should have done better, Mason. Ball to be brought back into play. Hancock, Samuel Hancock, plays on out of the square. Goes long, strong, looks for Zach Hall. Farquhar does well, wins the spoil, comes out to Beluda, has time to assess the situation, looks for Strawn, goes over the top of his head. In comes Hancock, taken high by Gledhill. Wins the free kick, players run for him. In they go, that's Brajovic, playing across halfback, not much pressure. Finds Danks, middle of the ground, takes the mark in front of McGinty. Tom Danks goes long, looks for East. At the top come Bailey, good spoil. Ball spills out the back towards Ioanu. Gets around a player, goes long, looks for McGinty. Carries over his head. Get the wheels going. In comes Danks. Does well. Handballs back to Johnson. Has a player inside and Beebe decides to kick. Goes down looking for Melenis. East gets him out of the way. Now it comes towards Armstrong. Bounces over to Reed. Wrapped up by Armstrong. No prior. Umpire to come in. Throw the ball up. End-to-end stuff. Far wing. Behind to Mason. Only score. Could have been taken without it. Tackle lingered. Johnson wins the free kick. Middle of the ground. A lot of whistles going on out there, not sure. Johnson. Corey Johnson. Undecided. Now he goes long. Inside 50. Myers comes from 3 deep. Spills over the back towards Tempera. Tempera's in there once again. Wrapped up by Gizzarelli. Umpire to throw the ball up. 30 metres out. Directly in front of Imperials' goal. That margin, 3 points. Hall comes from behind. Wins the ruck work down. Comes towards Tempera. Spills out towards a big fella, Brisbane. He only knows one way, and that is straight. Gets the handball out from Arnu to Blake East. He can come inboard to Heverington. Heverington goes wide by hand to Tempera. Comes back towards Heverington. Well done. Goes wide. Good kick. Spills over the top. Using by hand. Comes to Strawn. Needs to get himself involved in this game. Comes back to Myers. High up and under. They're inside 50. Mason takes a race and takes a good mark. Over the top of Gizzarelli. Wide to McGinty, hugs the boundary, looks for Strawn. A lasso free kick will go the way of Imperials. It'll go the way of Samuel Hancock. He followed his player all the way down. Does like a goal from fullback too, Hancock. Kicked one against Deanmill a couple of weeks ago. Long and strong, inside 50, Bailey. Puts his hand up, couldn't take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Spills towards Racing. Now it's into open space. Armstrong will be first back. Gets a handball back inboard towards Myers. Myers, he'll close on goal. He'll have a shot on goal. Myers, it's going to carry the pack from Myers. And through. So Myers' opening goal of the second half, and that gives Imperials back the lead. Margin 3 points. Reactive field work going on from both sides. Meet that ball. Some of them need to know that if you lose today, that is it all over. Put the boots away, come back next year. Ball back in the middle. Hall, out jump by Brisbane, comes to Myers, the last goal kicker, handballs towards Tempera, could have been taken without it, handball from Myers, goes towards Johnson, goes past Hall, comes back to Johnson, wrapped up in a tackle, ball's going nowhere, umpire to throw it up, just for to centre, Imperials way, they have a 3 point margin, opening stages, second half, Hall wins it down. Farquhar knocks it to open space. Then he lays a tackle on Johnson. Jordan Johnson, umpire to throw the ball up. Centre wing, right in front of the commentary box. 3 points the margin. Hall comes over the top, looks for Tempera. Slips as he was about to kick it. Picks himself up off the ground. Him and Zach Hall. Throw up favours Brisbane. Comes to Ianu. Kick smothered. Armstrong getting himself involved now. Handballs out wide towards Hall. The ball's helped over the boundary line. Him and Farquhar. Ball to be thrown in. Thrown in by one of the stars of coaching up actually. Jamie Marinoni throws the ball in. Hall wins it forward. Comes towards East. Lays a tackle. In they come down. Reeve gets it out. Handball from Ianu towards Gledhill. Knocked out. Comes back towards Reeve. Gets the handball out to East. Some sort of handball to Brown. Interesting. Handball to Gledhill. Gledhill goes short. This time they found Strawn. So within range, Strawn. He'll kick 40 metres out, right on the boundary. It'll take his best. Already has one goal in the opening quarter. Jordan Strawn. Distance shouldn't be a problem. Kicks on its way. It's holding its line. Get to the top of the square. Ball in dispute. Sock it off the ground. Gledhill. Opportunistic goal from Bronson Gledhill. So goal for goal, early stages, third quarter. 3 points. The lead back to the Hawks. It's a bit of ball movement. It's an interesting handball from Blake East, but we got no arc here. Got to Brown. Gledhill, he was the one that kicked the Strawn and pushed up forward. The ball back in the middle. Hall wins it down, knocks it towards Blake East. Wrapped up straight away from Johnson. It's Corey Johnson. Umpire to do it all over again. Hall, front position, wins it back towards Kobe Brown. Tries to get a handle on it. Comes to Johnson. Hits a kick around. But East takes the mark. It was Jordan Johnson takes the mark in front of Corey Johnson. Plays on. Wheeled onto his left boot. It's a high up and under. Strawn makes it. There, getting in front was Riley Mason. Plays on. Gets to 50. Goes long. Looking for Demetrio. Spills over the back to Heverington. He'll snap on his left foot. Heverington. Margin 9 points in favour of the Hawks. Superb front and centre by Heverington. 2 in a row to the Hawks. Terrific mark. Far side of the ground. Pass from Blake East by Riley Mason. The man on the mark, he was caught napping. He gained 10 metres. The leads come, but Heverington front and centre. And on his left boot, his natural side, snapped truly from 20. The margin out to 9 points. Sounds like we got some mice in the time box. Ball back in the middle. Up they go. One down by Constable. Wins it out towards Johnson. In comes East to put some pressure on. Tempers there. Big tackle, Johnson. Umpire, throw the ball up. Just forward to centre. One out by Hall. Comes to Brown. Plays a tackle on Hall. Zach Hall. So right in the middle. Goes up footy oval. This time Constable wins it down. Comes to Armstrong. Don't know how he got that ball away. Wrapped up by Reeve. In comes Armstrong trying to will it out of there. Wrapped up once again. He's pretty tight in the clinches. 12 minutes to go in this third quarter. Hall knocks it forward. Open space. Who'll run onto it? Hall does. That's Hall for Imperials. Met heavily by Strawn. Tackle lingered. Free kick Hall. Zach Hall. Birthday boy today. Plenty of the footy. Goes wide. Found Myers. Myers goes inboard. Finds Danks. So Danks plays on. Goes over the top of Reeve. Lands towards Max East. He's pursued by Bailey. Bailey comes back inboard to Armstrong. Gets around 1, 2. Back to East. Snaps around his body. Top of the centre square. Danks playing in front. Takes the mark. He'll kick from 50. Hasn't been on the scoreboard as yet. Providing a real good link-up going forward for Imperials. This to reduce the margin to less than a goal. Danks just crosses 50. Kicks on its way. It's narrow through for a minor score. Margin 8 points. Eleven and a half minutes to go in this third quarter. Racing. Bring the ball back into play. Plays on out of the square. Has a bounce, the youngster. Goes long. He'll look for Archie Hall. Ball spoiled. Goes out of bounds. So they cleared the defensive 50. 2 kicks out from Imperial's goal. Be Hall up against Constable. Hall wins it down. Armstrong holds his feet. So does Ianu. Sockers it off the ground towards Edgar. Sits up nicely for him. Gets the handball back to Ianu. He'll go wide. He'll look for Kobe Brown. And the youngster Brown takes the mark. Players peel for him. Has a player short. Has Ianu in the middle. hugs the boundary, good kick too, finds Tempera, Brock Tempera, plays around the man on the mark, runs himself into a little bit of trouble, and Hancock couldn't take the mark on the second grab, comes back out to Waderman, clever little kick, puts it in front of Beebe. In comes Tempera, misses his target, sits up nicely for Beebe. Done well, comes inboard looking for Myers. Over the top came Blakey's. Hall doing the ruck work, the big ruckman. Gets it to Edgar, won't sit up for him. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Comes to Tim Myers, handball back out to Johnson. Baluta gets the handball back out to Edgar. High up and under. Looking for Strawn, uses his body and takes a mark just inside 50. Jordan Strawn just got Hancock, that's Sam Hancock, just in the position to take a chest mark. He'll get the 50, the kick's on its way, it's got the distance, will it hold its line? It does! Terrific kick from Strawn from range. He gets the Hawks third of the third quarter, 3-1. Still 10 minutes to play in this third quarter. Superb mark and finish from Jordan Strawn. The goal to Strawn, Gledhill and Heverington, one to Myers. It's Tim Myers in this third quarter. And that margin just goes out to 14 points. Ball back in the middle. Brisbane, the big fella for Imperials, wins it down. Favours Blake East, wrapped up straight away by Johnson. He's wearing him like a second jumper today, Corey Johnson. Hall. Don't think he can shift Brisbane. Wins it down. Comes to Myers. Drives it long. Favours Gizzarelli. Sits up nicely. Gets onto his left boot. Looks down there for Danks. Danks takes the mark. And he'll kick from 50. Tom Danks. Just to get one back for Imperials. Hasn't hit the scoreboard as yet. Distance from this range not long ago. No problem. Kick's on its way. Better looking kick. It's working back from Danks. And they get one back. They have no answer for Danks down there at the moment. Good mark. And from 50 metres out, he matches Strawn at the other end. So 8 goals, 9, 57, 10-5, 65. 8 points the margin. Still with 8 minutes to play. 9 minutes to play in this third quarter. 3-2 in favour of the Hawks. Ball's back in the middle. Up they go. One down by Hall this time for Deanmill. Baluta will run onto it. Tries to knock it out to Anu. Does so. Spins around. Drives the ball forward. Looking there for Strawn. But this time, Sam Hancock takes the relieving defensive mark. Goes wide. Finds Johnson. Jordan Johnson. Players run for him. Comes through the middle. Looks for the big fella. And hits the chest of Angus Brisbane. I don't know if finesse is in his nature as Baluta comes over the top. Ball hung in the air just a little bit too long for Corey Johnson. Baluta made the spoil. Ball to be thrown in. Far side of the ground. Up they go again. No ruckman wins it down. Dead heat. Spills out to Johnson. Then to Brisbane. Tries to knock the ball out. Ball still in dispute. In they come. Tackles laid. Revon Armstrong. 2 tough nuts. Umpire to throw it up. Brisbane wins it down. Goes towards Armstrong. This time it sits up nicely. Handballs out wide to Johnson. Just chucks it onto his boot. Looking for Hall. Bounces past a few. Racing first back. Now it won't sit for him. Shepherd comes in. Racing does well. Goes wide. Looks for Tempera. Good mark, Tempera. Under pressure from the Johnson boys. Stood his ground. Kept his eye on the footy. Contested mark from Brock Tempera. Plays on. Gains a couple of metres. Looks up for Edgar. Stays down. Just socket out of mid-air. Now East is playing forward on Waderman. Good duel this. Ball spills out close to the boundary line. Now it does go out of bounds, right in front of the scoreboard. Reads 8-9, 57. Imperials 10-5, 65. 8 points the margin. 8 minutes to go in this third quarter. 30 metres out from Deanmill's goal. Hall comes across the top. Out it comes to Myers. Tackled. Spills out to Baluta. Has time to come back. He's tackled. Gets it out to Strawn. Strawn goes wide to Reeve. Reeve on the left foot. Goes for Easton on the second grab. Umpire says play on. Looked like he marked the footy. Maybe it didn't go the required distance. A bit ginger to get up here, Blake East. Let's hope he's okay. It's important wherever he goes for the Hawks. Just a little bit of a hold up in play. It looked like he marked the footy, but umpires are closer than us. Obviously didn't go 15 metres. So, time on. This quarter will run for a little bit longer. Not sure exactly what's happened here. He's on his feet. Just making sure all those ribs are on the side that they're supposed to be. There should be some on both sides, is what I've learned in human bio. Maybe they're all on one, not sure. I need to patch him up quick. Looks a bit ginger, Blake East. So Mason will replace East. Still 7.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. A terrific game of footy by two teams that are very evenly matched. They all have their stars. This is one of them. Let's hope he's okay. Maybe ribs by the sound of that. Just gasping for a little bit of air. Play resumes. Up they go. Hall wins it down. Comes to Edgar. Gets the handball out. Ianu, snap, on goal! Across the face, through for a minor score. Just need to regroup for three-quarter time, Blake East. Hancock to bring the ball back into play. Waderman provides a long lead, doesn't like that. Toy goes short. Now he's going to come towards the commentary box, high and long, looks for Myers. Gets front position, couldn't take the mark. Spills down to Hall, comes out to Johnson. Now it comes back to Myers. Holds his feet, goes down, finds Danks. Can someone play on him, please? Takes a bounce, gets around McGinty. Good tackle by McGinty, just puts him off his kick. High up and under, Melenis will fly. Couldn't take the mark. Comes over towards Max Eats. He's knocked out of the way. Baluta's there. Archie Hall trying to do the ruck roving. Wrapped up by Johnson. Hall picks himself up off the ground. It's Jordan Johnson. Ball 30 metres out from Imperials' goal. One down by Brisbane towards Danks. Spills out. They all peel off. High up and under. That's dangerous. Umpire's seen a free kick. It'll go the way of Tempera. Had an outstanding game of footy. Relay free kick. Probably would have been better if it went where it was. They go wide. Farquhar puts Brown under pressure and he takes a good mark, the youngster. 50-metre penalty. Unlucky there, Myers. Not much in that. He'll get more of them as his career goes on. Just a little love tap. He might have had a hayseed in his hair and he's just wiping it out. Goes inboard. Looks for Strawn. Good kick too. Finds Strawn. Armstrong tried to make the spoil. But Strawn kept his eye on the footy. So end-to-end stuff from the Hawks. Just get that margin. Out to 15 points. Remembering Imps, most of that second quarter held a 15-point advantage. And right in time on, Deanmill kicked 3 goals and that gave him the lead going into half-time. Strawn, he'll kick, 48. Crosses 50 now. Kicks on its way. Comes back. Tries to come back. It's through from Strawn. It just had enough. It's his third goal of the match. Second of the third quarter. Margin 15 points. And they should all go up and give young Kobe Brown a tap. He kept his eye on the footy. Took the punishment. Had the composure for a youngster to make sure the kick hit its target. And that was the big forward in Strawn. He made no mistake, 48 metres out. So ball back in the middle. Brisbane up against Hall. Hall wins it down, then knocks it forward once again. In comes Beluda. Hall meets the ball, comes back to Beluda. In they come, Edgar, tough, handball over towards Hall. Then he lays a tackle, does Hall. Edgar tries to keep his feet. In they come, gets the handball back out to Armstrong. Free kick's been paid. Relay free kick. Danks. He finds Melenis, who takes the mark uncontested. Right on half forward. Danks leads for him. Goes inboard. And finds Hall. So Zach Hall already has one. It was in the first quarter. Pretty much from the same distance. Directly in front. A kick from just inside 50. Zach Hall gets to 50, kicks on its way, high, up, under, minus score. Still a little bit too close to the man on the mark there, Hall. Distance, no problem. We've probably underestimated that breeze. It might be worth one or two, especially when the players are having shots from 50 metres out. It doesn't seem to be an issue going to that end of the ground. Johnny East brings the ball back into play. Not his best kick. Looks for Arnie. Puts him under pressure. Now he has Myers. Managed to hold his feet. Get the handball out to Brown. Brown, far side of the ground. Looks for Hall. Puts the big levers up. Takes the mark in front of Constable. Archie Hall hugs the boundary. Goes down looking for Tempera. Why wouldn't you? He had a game and a half today. Brock Tempera. Centre wing. Plays on. Comes inboard. Looks for Heverington. Comes from behind. Couldn't take the mark. Hall affects the spoil. Comes out to Cameron. Cameron cleverly goes wide. Finds Constable. Goes inside. Finds Johnson. Centre wing. Corey Johnson. He'll go down. McGinty puts one hand up. Now he's allowed Danks into the play. Gets a handball over towards Melenis. Melenis picks the ball up. Too easy. Wills onto his left boot. It'll go to the top of the square. How will it bounce? Bounces across. No, it's gone through for a goal from Melenis. Kay Melenis, he knew what he was doing. He gets his second. So 3-4 in favour of the Hawks. Margin, it's going to come down to the last 25 minutes this game. Just over 3 minutes to play. 11-6, 72. 9-10, 64. 8 points the margin. Still time. A couple of goals each side. One by Hall. Knocks it forward towards Reeve. Comes out towards Beluda. Now it goes towards Fall. Hall gets it. Handballs over towards Cameron. Cameron goes down looking for Armstrong. Carries his head and over the back of the pack. Comes to Farquhar. Tries to get around Myers, does so. Now has time to assess the situation. Good kick, middle of the ground. Kobe Brown goes wide, looks there for Hall. Knocks it out towards Edgar. Gets around one, then two. Beebe lays a tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Comes to Hall. Handballs back towards Myers. Just chucks it onto his boot. Finds brother Tim. Armstrong runs for him. He should use him. Does so. I don't think Reeves is going to catch him. Falls over at the inopportune time. Does Armstrong. Will it sit in play? Does so. It's all about this kick. Hugs the boundary. Will it stay in? Spoiled over as we lean out towards the boundary in the timekeeper's box. Spoiled over the boundary line. A lasso free kick. No, ball to be thrown in. 2 kicks out from Imperials goal. Reaching over the top was Hall. Comes towards Hall of Imperials, then to Johnson. High up and under. They sit under it. Does Jonty East does well. Spoils the ball over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in 25 metres out from Imperials goal. 2 minutes to go. Third quarter. 8 points the margin. This time East does the ruck work. Danks takes clean possession. Tackled. Ball spills out. Comes towards Brock Tempera. He's tackled as well by Ray Myers. Umpire. Throw the ball up. Don't want to give away a free kick here. Lands. Danks. Picks it up. Comes over the back. Armstrong. Handballs to a real dangerous position. Johnson runs onto it. Comes to Max East. Margin 2 points. Too easy. They just sat off the pack there, the Hawks. Johnson managed to get the handball out to East, and he gets goal number 3. 1 in each quarter. It's game on. Just under 2 minutes in this third quarter to play. 10 goals, 10, 70. To 11 goals, 6, 72. 2 points the margin. It wasn't that long ago that Deanmill were out by 15 points. Ball back in the middle. Hall up against Constable. Wins it down. Comes to Ianu. Just chucks it onto his boot. He'll go inside 50. Gledder will be first there. Carries over him towards Demetrio. He's had a day. He'd rather forget. He's going to give away the free kick. Umpire lets the ball play on. Comes to Hall. Beluda couldn't cut the ball off. Spills out. Johnson's there. Comes to Myers. Myers gets a handball out towards Danks. Comes towards Reeve. Handballs to Hetherington. Puts him under pressure. Wrapped up by Myers. Right in front of the commentary box. I didn't think there was a crowd here, but I think I was wrong. Hall wins it down. Comes to Beluda. Handball from full. Favours Ianu. Comes to Beluda. He can't pick it up. It's hot out there. Johnson. As in comes Kobe Brown. Holds the ball up. That's Jordan Johnson. Umpire. Throw the ball up. Hall knocks it forward to Brown. Absorbs the tackle by Gizzarelli. It's a game to be won here. You don't want to give away anything silly. It could come down to that. Hall. Blocked by Constable. Comes back to Hall. Then to Tempera. Just drives it forward. Goes over the top of Strawn's head. Hancock. Put it into open space. It's all about how it bounces. It'll favour Zach Hall. Handballs over to Myers. Inside 50. East in best position. Affects the spoil on Max East. Comes over to Melenis. Free kick could have been given away. And then again. Spills out. Shot on goal from Ray Myers for the lead. Misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. Ball to be brought back into play. Less than a minute to go. Ben Farquhar. Nothing silly. Hug that boundary. Does so. Bit of a chip kick. Gets missed everything. And the lasso free kick will go the way. And Danks kicks on its way. It's going to land right at the top of the square. East misses a mark. Spills to Gizzarelli. Smother. Brown. Terrific work. Comes to East. Another smother. Right in the goal square. Now the ball's tied up. Gizzarelli picks himself up. 10 metres out. Hall wings it forward. Comes towards Gizzarelli. In they come. Umpire lets the play go on. Still in a real dangerous position. A few seconds left. Ball's up. Time. Here at the Coaching Up Sporting Complex. And what a game we've got. 4 goals each in that third quarter. Margin 2 points at half time. It's 2 points at 3-quarter time. 11 goals, 6, 72 to 10-10, 70. Terrific quarter of footy. Wasn't that long ago that Deanmill were up by 15 points, nearly halfway, 2/3 through that third quarter. Imperials struck back. We go back to the quarter before, Imperials got up to 15 points as well. So ebbs and flow. The last quarter, whoever wins this will get a crack at either Bridgetown or Kojonup. Goal scorers for Deanmill: Reed with 1, Mason 2, Tempera 3. He's had a game and a half today, Brock Tempera. Storm with 3 also, Gledhill and Heverington with a terrific snap on goal. And for Imperials, Gizzarelli has 2, Melenis 2, East has 3, 1 in each quarter, Hall 1, Tim Myers and Danks has 1 as well. 10 goals, 10-70, 11-6, 72, 2 points the margin. And we'll be back shortly with the last quarter from the Kojonup Sporting Complex. Right, last quarter about to get underway. We've had a terrific game of footy here today. 2 points the margin at halftime. Deanmill out by 15 points through the middle part of that third quarter. Imps pegged it back, and we're at 2 points at 3/4 time. Away we go. Hall wins the ball forward, goes towards Reed. He puts the shepherd on, allows Egger to come through, knocks it to his own advantage. He'll get inside 50, wrapped up by Armstrong. Good tackle. Armstrong receives the free kick just as Egger was about to put it at the top of the square. Goes in the middle, finds Zach Hall. Gets onto his left boot. And this bloke has had a day out, Danks. Goes inside, looks for Melenis. Callum East peeled off. Melenis stuck the Dukes out, pulled the mark in. He'll shoot, 50 metres out. And this, to give Imperials the lead, the opening score of the last quarter, inside a minute. Kane Melenis has a couple. One of the first, one of the third. In he comes now. The kick's on its way. Not the best looking kick. It's going to land short. Danks drops the mark. One of his rare mistakes. Comes over the back towards Bailey. Handballs towards Rayson. Ball seen over the boundary line. To be thrown in 20 metres out from Imperials' goal. Hall knocks the ball forward. Thumps it forward. They have the numbers. Farquhar comes in. Could have given away the free kick. Spills out to Reeve. It's a handball over. High up and under. McGinty puts his hand up. Couldn't take the mark. Comes to Toigo. Does well. Drives the ball back inside. 50! And Danks has peeled off the back of the pack and taken the easiest of chess marks. Will shoot on goal. 30 metres out. 45-degree angle. Distance won't be a problem here for young Danks. Tom Danks kicked a goal in that third quarter. This for number 2. In he comes. Kicks on its way. He's missed. Pushed it across the face of goal. And that margin, now 1 point. So a let off. Rayson plays on straight away. Goes long, strong. Hall puts his hands up. Couldn't get a hand on the ball. In they come. Ianu tries to knock the ball forward. Very physical game today. Hancock, he's received a free kick. Strawn gives away the free kick. Drives the ball long. Bailey at the back. Affects the spoil. Does well. They have the numbers. As Ben Farquhar was wrapped up by Johnson. The ball back to a real dangerous spot for the Hawks defenders. 30 metres out. East does the ruck work. Comes back to East. Gets onto his left. Drives the ball long. Heverington does well. Takes a chest mark. Jordan Johnson goes short. Looks for Strawn. Sits nicely. Gets a handball back into Gledhill. Gledhill wheels around. Gets onto his left boot. How will it sit? Demetrio knocks the ball forward, comes to Wademan. Wademan handballs out towards Beebe. Lasso free kick will go the way of the Hawks. We can see that one, Fems. It'll go to Gledhill. Looks for Strawn. Good kick too. Finds the chest of Jordan Strawn. It's all about this kick. Should look for Mason. Does so. Goes in that direction. Mason has a couple. Takes the mark. In front of Cameron, Riley Mason. He'll kick 48 metres out, tight angle. He'll take his best. Already has a couple. Riley Mason. Once we see him come back into play, we'll be able to call it. Here he comes now. Crosses the boundary. Kicks on its way. It's narrow. Out of bounce on the full. Free kick will be taken by Imperials. Sam Hancock deep in defence. It's a little bit too far out there, Mason. Hancock to bring the ball back into play. Had a good duel with Strawn today. Sam Hancock will drive the ball long. He'll hug the boundary. Myers sets himself, comes over the top. Spoil comes in, close to the boundary line. Comes to Tempera, gets the handball back out to Mason. Goes out wide looking for Gledhill. Now he's got to get the skates on. Demetrio's there. Hasn't had much of the footy. What can he do from there? Demetrio shot on goal. That's right, keep going. Through for behind. Wademan this time to bring the ball back into play. Goes straight down the middle, finds Hall. Someone must be playing on him, surely. Goes wide, finds Cameron. Over the top come Hetherington. Both players kept their eye on the footy. Cameron takes a terrific contested mark. Gets onto his left boot. Looks for Danks. Danks puts the hands up. Takes the mark in front of Rayson. Goes in the middle. Back to Hall. He can take it and go. Gets onto his left boot. Has a player short. Right at half forward is Myers. Myers. He goes wide. Bailey tries to come across in front of East. East drops the mark. Comes back to Bailey. Bailey gets the handball out to Ianu. Gets on his bike. Goes wide looking for Gledhill. And Gledhill drops another mark. Now Beebe will respawn. And it comes to Toigo. Through the middle of the ground. Looks for Myers. And he takes the mark. Right at half forward. Armstrong. He's wide. Will take it and go. Gets the ball over towards Hall. Has a shot on goal, Hall. It's going to get to the top of the square and go through. Zach Hall gets his second. Puts Imperials in front by 5 points. Deanmill caught napping again. Hall has had plenty of the footy. Gets his second goal, one in the first quarter, one in the last, and puts his team in front by 5 points. Ball back in the middle. Hall up against Brisbane. Brisbane wins it down, comes towards Tempera, comes back towards Zach Hall, tries to get the handball out. Myers picks it up. In they come now. Tackle's been laid. That's on Hall. Picks himself up off the ground. This forward to centre. Hall up against Brisbane. Wins it down. Comes out towards Hetherington. Johnson's there. Lays the tackle. Gets the handball out to Armstrong. Finding a bit of the footy now. Gets it over to Myers. Hits the ground running. In comes Danks for the Shepherd. Bounces in front of Melenis. Comes over the back to Bailey. High. Up and under. It's going to favour Armstrong. Takes the chest mark. Goes inboard. Farquhar cuts the ball off just about as Melenis was about to take the mark. Farquhar will come wide. Puts Blake East under pressure. And Myers comes in front, takes the mark, has options, 2, 3 options. One of them is Johnson, uses him. Jordan Johnson takes the mark in front of Tempera. So 4 points the margin. Goes inside, mark dropped by Farquhar, spills over the back, goes out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in 25 metres out from Imperials' goal. 11 goals, 11. 77, 11-7, 73, 4 points the margin. Hall wins it down, comes to Tempera. Had a great day today, Tempera. Gets around, comes towards Baluta. What can Baluta do? Just lets his player get around him. Then just chucked on the boot. Danks is there. It's going to sit up for Danks, is it? Does so. In comes Tempera. Lays the tackle. Lays the tackle and a 50-metre penalty. He's done everything today. Brock Tempera, forward and back, wins the free kick. Brock Tempera. This will take him to the middle of the ground. They need to get some ball movement here. Deanmill. Tempera, leads come. Ignores the McKenzie lead. Goes towards Mason. Kicks on its way. It's going to carry over Mason. Comes to Demetrio. Gets the handball back to Mason. He's seen a gap that no one else did. Wrapped up in a big tackle, Mason, by Cameron. 2 kicks out from Deanmill's goal. 4 points the margin. Ruck work from Hall. Favours Ianu. Just shoveled onto his boot. Will it stay in play? Now it goes out of bounds. Blakey sees it over. A little bit of help from Tim Myers. And ball to be thrown in. 35 metres around from Deanmill's goal. Hall knocks it forward towards Edgar. Can't get a handle on it. In they come. Tackle laid. Umpire lets the play go on. Now they come in. Throw it up. Hall wins the free kick. Zach Hall Goes wide, looks for Waderman, takes the mark, hits the ground running. Hancock goes short, finds Johnson. Jordan Johnson has Beebe inside, goes that way. Beebe takes the mark, centre wing, gets the handball back to Johnson. Just drives the ball long, looking for Melenis. East comes over the top. Brown's there. They have the numbers. Bailey's there, keeps his feet, does well. Socket off the ground by Beluda. Trying to get Gizzarelli out of the way. Now he wraps him up in a tackle. Right on forward 50 for Imperials. 11 goals 11 to 11-7. 4 points the margin. 12 minutes to go in this last quarter. Hall wins it out. Looking for Farquhar. Couldn't get a handle on the ball. Armstrong's there. Tackled straight away by Beluda. It's still on forward 50 for Imperials. Ball to be thrown up. One down by Hall. Another big tackle by Zach Hall on Farquhar. Umpire will do it all over again. Hall wins it down. Ball still in dispute. Umpire lets the play go on. And now he'll come in, throw the ball up. 55 metres out from Imperials' goal. The goal here just might sap the energy out of Deanmill. Hall wins it down. Goes towards Tempera. Gets a handle on the ball. It's all about this kick. Goes wide. Looks for Demetrio. Goes past him. Lasso free kick. Will go the way of Imperials. He'll go to Waderman. Leads come. Melenis. Waderman goes long and hugs the boundary. He'll look for Danks. Danks gets pushed under the ball. Umpire seen it as well. Free kick. Is it Danks? That's Constable will take the free kick. Either. Young Sale, Constable. Centre wing. Far side of the ground. Been called to play on. East comes in. Very clumsy. Gives away the free kick. And it'll go the way of Brajovic. So Brajovic, 2 kicks out from Imperials' goal. He'll put it inside 50. Good looking kick too. They'll come. Armstrong goes over the top, spills out to Gizzarelli. Wrapped up straight away by the defence of Deanmill. And this time the umpire will throw the ball up 20 metres out from the Imperials' goal. Danks jumps over the top, tries to get the handball out to Melenis. It'll be a shot on goal. Is it going to hold its line? Touched on the line. Young Rayson done well. Knocks it over for a minor score. Brings the ball back into play. Finds Edgar. Edgar. Now free kick's being paid. And now Edgar has given away the free kick. He received a 50-metre penalty. Gave Gizzarelli a little bit of service. And the free kick will go to Gizzarelli, and he's within range. 30 metres out. Already with a couple of goals in that first half. Gizzarelli. Shot on goal from nowhere. In comes Gizzarelli now. Kicks on its way. It's coming back. Hits the post through for a minor score. They need to get it down to their end. Deanmill. Farquhar brings the ball back into play. Finds Callum East. Still inside defensive 50. Goes long down the wing. Looks for Ianu. Does well. Myers couldn't take the mark. Comes back to Ianu. Goes down the middle. Demetrio takes the chest mark. Right at half forward. He'll play on. Looks down for Mason. Bounces in front of Mason. Has Cameron for company. Does well there, Cameron. Gets the ball out to Hancock. Swings around his body towards Zach Hall. Bumped off his kick. Does well. Finds Johnson. Now they're out once again, Imperials. Goes down looking for Melenis. Over the top comes Blake East. Takes the mark on the juggle. Blake East. Centre wing, being called to play on. Gets around Melenis on the mark. Now he'll drive the ball long. High up and under. Ball carries over the pack to Toigo. Handballs out to Hall. Putting himself in for best on ground today, Hall. Carries over the top of him, lands in the arms of Blake East, but he's wrapped up by Hall. Umpire throws it up. McGinty comes out. Demetrio, his kick is smothered. Out to Myers. Tackle. Myers gets it to Raymond Myers. That was Tim. Far side of the ground. Waiterman back to Tim Myers. Has Danks in the middle. Goes longer. Looking there for Armstrong. Carries over him and finds Reeve. He goes short to Rayson. Just inside the centre square, Rayson has another player short in Brown. Takes the ball running on the wing. Has a bounce. Can go to McGinty. Can give it back to Brown. Does so. The youngsters goes short. Finds Strawn right on 50. This to bring scores level. 8 minutes to go. Last quarter, Jordan Strawn. He'll kick from just outside 50. This will see how strong that breeze is. Hancock stands the mark right on the 50-metre line. Jordan Strawn, in he comes now. Kicks on its way. It's going to hang out to the right. Stay in play. Over the top they come. Carries the pack. And out of bounds. Ball to be thrown in. 10 metres out from Deanmill's goal. The youngsters linked up through the middle of the ground. McGinty and Brown. Ball's one down. Comes to Cameron. Tackled as he handballed it. Spills out towards Harrington. Lays a tackle on Johnson. Comes to McGinty. It's all about the snap. Goes to East. Picks it up nicely. Can't get the kick away, does he? He does, the captain. Scores level. Now the umpires will confer. It's a goal. Blake East gets on the scoreboard, and more importantly for his team, scores a level, 12-7, 11-13. And I'm not sure what angle the veranda had on that one. It couldn't have been any better than what we're seeing here in the time box. East puts it through as he was tackled. Scores level, 7 minutes to go, last quarter, first semi. Favours East. Comes back towards Hall. Ianu cuts the ball off. Comes towards Armstrong. Picked up by Anu. High up and under. Storm puts one hand out. Picks the ball up. Tries to give it to Fall. Fall can't get a handle on it. In comes Toigo. Then to Cameron. Not the best kick. It'll favour Ianu once again. Tries the handball out to Edgar. Couldn't hit his target. In comes Hall. Snapped on the boot mark. Strawn takes the chest mark. Low to the ground, the big fella. He'll go back, 25 out. They're directly in front. And this to give the Hawks the lead. Any score will put them in front. Jordan Strawn waltzes in, kicks on its way, holds its line. It's through for the Hawks. Strawn gets goal number 4. They hit the front by 6 points. Just got himself in front there, the big fella. And Archie Hall just chucked it onto his boot. It lands on the chest of Strawn. And he put it through. 25 out. Ball's back in the middle. Up they go. Hall wins it down for Deanmill. Goes towards Armstrong, wrapped up by Reeve. That ball going nowhere. Umpire to throw it up once again. Hall just shovels it forward, comes to Reeve, chucks it onto his boot. They're inside 50. Up they go. Mason tries to take the chest mark. Spills out. Fall, the veteran. Across his body from David Fall. They've got another. That's as good a right foot on David Fall as you'll ever see. The left foot banana gives the Hawks a 12-point lead. 6 minutes to go in this last quarter. Right foot's only there for balance from Dave Fall. The banana kick from 35 went through. Back in the middle, Hall wins it down. Goes towards Zacko, comes out to Ianu. Having a terrific last quarter. Up they go again. Strawn couldn't take the mark. Spills over the back. Mason gets a handball out. Will it sit for McGinty? No, Toigo does well. Chucks the ball onto his boot. Johnson, he's got Edgar for company. Edgar's got the pace. Johnson does well. Wins the ball out. Now it sits in. In comes Zach Hall for Imperials. Archie Hall's there. Wraps up and absorbs the tackle from Johnson. How's the umpire see this one? Be no shortage of umpires next year listening to the crowd. Hall knocks it forward, straight to Zach Hall, wrapped up in a tackle from Ianu. Umpire to come in and throw the ball up once again. Centre wing. What a game of footy. 12 points to margin. Brisbane gets Archie Hall out of the way. Myers has the foot speed, does well, sockers it off the ground, goes over the top, comes back towards Farquhar. Now it's all about this kick. Gets cleverly onto his left boot and finds Tempera. Too early to hold the ball up. Archie Hall makes the lead. He's going to go riskily into the middle of the ground. It'll go into open space. Now it's a foot race. Spills over the back to Heverington. It's about this kick. Looks there for Strawn. Misses his target. Comes to McGinty. Spills out the back towards Toigo. McGinty should have done better. Now it's going to come back. How will it sit for Edgar? Bounces over his head. He has time. Hancock closes. Not his best kick. Goes out wide. Glenn will have to make an effort here. Holds off the ball. Strawn's there close to the boundary line. Sockers it off the ground. In comes Strawn with a big tackle. Ball to be thrown in. Centre wing. 12 points the margin. 4.5 minutes to go. Back-to-back goals for the Hawks. Hall up against Brisbane. No ruckman wins it down. Ball still in dispute. Comes to Zach Hall. Wrapped up in a big tackle. Comes out towards Toigo. He'll just chuck it onto his boot. Lands in open space. It's a foot race once again. In comes Tempera. Does a great tackle on Myers. But they have the numbers. It's going to be Danks. Danks will give the handball back out to Armstrong. Goes short. Looks for Johnson. Second grab. Takes the mark. Lucky there, Farquhar, not to give away the 50. Leads come. One of them's Molinas. Gizzarelli. Johnson will kick long now. It'll go inside 50. High up and under. Couldn't take the mark. Spills out towards Johnson. Gets a handball out. Over to Brajovic. Kick goes out of bounds on the full. They'll reload once again for the youngster in Kobe Brown. Needs to hug the boundary. Does so. Demetrio. Will it stay in play? Takes the chest mark. Dealt with as he took the ball. Demetrio. Been called to play on. High, up and under. Outnumbered 3-1. Over the top come Mason. Knocked out into open territory by Hall. It'll spill out the back towards Reeve. In they come now. Wrapped up, absorbs a tackle from Hancock. As big Angus Brisbane, he'd make your eyes light up like that scene in Mad Max, I reckon, when he's coming in. Spills out the back to Fall. Tries to get the handball out. Then he sockers it straight into the back of Reeve. Chucked up, kicked into open space by Ianu. It's a foot race. I'm backing Hancock in here. Gledill's on the treadmill. Now he closes. Hancock. Gledill does well, gives away the free kick, play on advantage. They go wide, they look for Danks. Danks has had a terrific game of footy, takes the mark in front of Jonty East, comes in board, finds Johnson. Centre wing, they have to play on quickly. He goes wide, finds Myers. They'll come inside 50, goes over the top to Gizzarelli. Brown closes, does well. How's the umpire see it? The youngster Kobe Brown lays a tackle on Gizzarelli as he was closing. Receives a free kick. And now there's a card, is there? He reached for the pocket, the umpy. Maybe he was just chucking his shirt in. And this will bring young Brown into the middle of the ground. And it's all about this kick. 2.5 minutes to go. in this first semi-final. What a game of footy. 12 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. And the youngster Kobe Brown has laid some terrific tackles. Gledhill puts the lead on wide. He's going to have to come from 3 deep. Manages to bring the ball to ground. Handball comes out from Heverington. Comes to Gledhill. Could have been taken high. Gets the handball out towards Hall. Snap towards goal. Carry over the back of Myers. Toy goes there. Keeps it in play. And he'll bring it out wide towards Armstrong. It's got to sit for Armstrong. In comes Reeve. Brandy Armstrong does well. Wins the ball back. Waiterman, high up and under. Myers takes the mark on the second grab. Had a terrific game, Myers. Calls his players up. Being called to play on. Nearly kicks into the man on the mark. Farquhar does well. Stands his ground. Then his first man back. In comes Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli does well. And he receives a free kick. Scott Gizzarelli. This will take his best if he puts it through from there. Has 2 goals today. Gizzarelli. Has Johnson out back. Been called to play on. Runs his full measure. Kicks on its way. Holds its shape. Gizzarelli lands right at the goal square. The mark taken by Tempera. Has a bounce. Plays on. Goes wide. Good kick to Tempera. Demetrio takes the mark. Centre wing. Minute and a half to go. First semi. Hawks by 12. Ethan Demetrio had a quiet day. Been called to play on. High up and under. Hugs the boundary. Mason's there. Toy goes there. Spills over the back to Alex Hancock. He'll reload once again. Calamise gets his player under the ball. Comes out the back. Back to Danks. All about the bounce here from Danks. It's knocked through. Has it gone through? It has. There's still a pulse for Imperials. Danks gets his second. Margin 6 points. Less than a minute to go. Centre clearance. They've got to tie the ball up here. Deanmill. We could be going to extra time. Ball in the middle. Hall up against Brisbane. Away we go. Hall wins it down. Comes towards Armstrong. But Zach Hall picks it up. They go forward once again. Danks is going to be first to the ball. Sits nicely. Slipped over. Comes back out to Tempera. Had a game and a half. The ball won't sit up. He's spent Tempera. Just chucks it onto his boot. Brisbane's there. Goes past him. Then to Johnson. Inside 50. All about the mark. Edgar does well. Comes to Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli nearly tackled. He'll shoot on goal. Gizzarelli. They go out the back. Ball carries. Goes to Rayson. Sees the ball over the boundary line. Ball to be thrown in. 20 metres out. Imp's goal. It's all about this stoppage. Goes over the back to Hall. Knocks it in a real dangerous position. Mason just chucks it onto his boot. Comes out the back towards Brisbane. He's tackled the big fella. Shrugs it. Ball goes forward. This will be controversy. I think that mark was taken after the siren. How's the umpire seen it? Umpires paid the mark. Tim Myers. 30 metres out, directly in front. We could be here till midnight. Tim Myers. In he comes. Plenty of assistance on the mark. Kicks on its way. We're going extra time. It's all square. I'd like to go back to the replay on that one.
I just press a button, yeah. John.
Nothing to do with us here in the time box. We believe, according to the scoreboard, that scores are level. Myers has kicked a goal after the siren to draw the game. We'll stay with it here. What a game of footy. We're just waiting on confirmation from the goal umpires. It might take 6 minutes for the southern goal umpire to get to the middle. He's taking his time. They're under pressure. Everyone's under pressure. Confirmation pending. What a game of footy. And Myers, the goal stands, 3 goals apiece in that last quarter. 2 to Gizzarelli. This is at full time. We're thinking it's a draw. 2 to Melenis, 3 to Max East, 2 to Hall, 2 to Tim Myers, 2 to Danks. And for Deanmill, 1 to Reeve, 2 to Mason, 3 to Tempera, Brock Tempera, 4 to Strawn, 1 to Gledhill, 1 to Heverington, 1 to Blake East, and 1 to David Fall. Umpires confirming. So it is a draw. So just another chapter in the Imperials Deanmill book of finals, where I'm still in counselling from 2018 when Austin Stiles kicked the goal after the siren to win the grand final. Well, Tim Myers has kicked the goal right on the siren. He took the mark right on the siren and kicked the goal to draw the game. 13 goals, 13 Imperials to 14 goals, 7 Deanmill. They hit the front by 2 goals. There was 1 minute 43 to go. They were 2 goals in front. And Imps, well, they kicked the goal with 12 seconds to go. Brisbane, the Goliath of the Imperials ruck, picked the ball up, just shoveled it onto his big size 25 boot, and it hit Myers lace out. He took the mark as the siren went. Umpire's in best position, and he went back from 30 metres out and kicked the goal. So what a sponsor's dream. Now, I'm not sure how this works. 2 halves, 2 5-minute halves. So they'll have 6 minutes here, which they're nearly ready to go back out, both teams. They'll play 2 5-minute halves, and this for a spot in the preliminary final up against either Bridgetown or Kojonup. So it wasn't that long ago to Kojonup. And this was at Boyatbrook Oval where Jamie Marinoni, he kicked the goal after full time to take it to extra time. And Bridgetown in a similar situation, they were 2 goals up. And Marinoni kicked that goal to take it to a draw, and then they went on and won the grand final by 9 points. So a lot of wounded soldiers. 5 minutes each way.
5, yeah, with time on, and yeah.
1 for the first week, and then 5.
Yeah, with time on, yeah, no worries.
So an hour and 40 of travelling, 2 hours of footy, and we're back to where we started before everyone travelled over here. It's a draw. 26 scoring shots to 21. 14 goals, 7. 13 goals, 13 Imperials. Scores level, 91 points apiece. And we're at the start. Extra time. Brisbane wins it down down. Comes to Ianu. Could have been taken high. Spills out towards Johnson. Edgar's there. And even the siren sounding a little bit average as it winds itself down. We start the first of these 5-minute halves. One down by Brisbane. Goes to that man Myers. Just puts it inside 50. Gizzarelli goes past him. Brown will be first back. Young Kobe Brown done some good things. Picks the ball up. Wrapped up by Gizzarelli. Umpire to throw the ball up. 40 metres out from Imperials goal. Deanmill don't go up for the ruck. Spills out towards Molinas. Could have been taken high. Comes back in. Been a physical game today. A little bit more exciting than what we seen last week. East wins it down, goes straight to Molinas. He'll wheel around onto his left boot. He'll put it to the top of the square. It'll carry over the top of Max East and carry all the way over the boundary line. And ball to be thrown in near side of the ground, 25 metres out from Imperials goal. Tim Ioane gingerly out of that pack. The last contest, picks himself up. Comes back into play now. Callum East to do the ruck work. Blood rule. I want to patch him up pretty quickly. So ball to be thrown in. Ianu comes off blood rule. Brisbane up against Hall. Brisbane does well, gets that big frame in front, comes to Reeve, had a good day. Him and Armstrong have been terrific, goes towards Strawn, knocks the ball to his own advantage. Now it crosses the boundary line, be thrown in. 2 kicks out from Imperials goal. They kicked the last 2 goals of normal time. We'll take this game into extra time. Hall gets front position, comes down towards Edgar, wrapped up in a big tackle, Edgar. No prior, and next year's umpires are suggesting that that might have been holding the ball. Brisbane does well, punches it forward, comes towards Armstrong, shovels it onto his left boot, goes inside 50, comes out to Farquhar, tries to get the handball to Reed, misses his target. Johnson's out the back, it'll go back inside 50 once again. East does the spoiling, comes over towards Gledhill. Gledhill puts his teammate under pressure. In they come now. Snap on goal by Brajovic. Comes to Brown. Back towards Gledhill. And now Brajovic will have another snap on goal. The opening score of extra time goes the way of Imperials. 1 point. And that's the lead. 13 goals, 14. 92, 14-7. 91. 1 point the margin. Halfway through this extra time, ball's brought back into play by Rayson, finds Farquhar. Strawn makes the lead, good kick too, goes towards Strawn, but in front is Johnson. Jordan takes the mark, second grab, goes in board, loose checking, finds Brajovic right on 50. Has a player short and wide, and goes that way. I'm pretty sure this is Hancock, and he doesn't mind a goal, the fullback. Samuel Hancock, right on the boundary, right footer, 35 metres out. And we're just going to have to call this one on ball flight. Sam Hancock. You can see him now, back in picture. In he comes, crosses the boundary line, kicks on its way, holds its line. Just slightly narrowed through for a minor score. 2 points the margin. Deanmill have to reload once again. Ball hasn't been in their forward half in this extra time. Rayson plays on. Options, goes long, strong, asking a fair bit of haul, and Armstrong takes the mark uncontested. Outside 50, goes inside, looks for Danks, bounces in front of him, in comes Rayson, Gizzarelli's there, tackled, comes the tackle now, free kick. Way of Edgar. Hugs the boundary, looks for Gledhill. He's dropped another mark. Play on, comes back towards Gledhill. Could have been taken high. Umpire sees it that way by Myers, Ray Myers. Gledhill takes the mark. Goes short. Spoil's made. Spills out to Edgar. Just drives the ball long. Brisbane knocks it down straight to Hall. Comes back towards Reeve. Goes long. Looks there for McGinty. Couldn't take the mark on the second grab. Comes to Beebe. Drives the ball long. Gledhill, best position. Takes the mark right at halfback. Players lead. Goes wide. Looks for McGinty once again. Knocks it down on the second grab. Comes to ground. In comes Waderman. Handballs back out towards Armstrong. Heavily met by Reeve. Tackled as he was about to get rid of the ball. Comes to Baluta. Baluta handballs back to Gledhill. Just chucks it onto his boot. High up and under. Tempera's got to come in. Doesn't. Holds back. Spills back out to Beebe. Short kick. Goes to Johnson. Now they're going forward once again. Edgar, best position. Couldn't take the mark. Spills back to Edgar. Gets the handball out towards Reeve. Now it spills out to Rayson. Goes in the middle of the ground looking for Strawn. Carries him. Alex Hancock in the right position at the right time. Cut off in the middle by Rayson. Hall makes the lead. He's got to go to Hall. Does so. The big fella's got to put the Dukes up. Does so. Takes a mark. 3 deep. Archie Hall. Got a player running for him, Hall. He'll have to kick from 50. Good mark. Put the long levers up. Archie Hall. Outnumbered 3-1. This will take his best. He'll kick from right on 50. The ruckman kicks on its way. High, up, under. Has it got the distance? Has it got the distance? It's a goal to Hall. Right on the siren. So Archie Hall gets a goal. Extra time. 1 goal to 2 points. 4 points the margin. They'll swap straight away. There's only 1 minute. Bit like Little League from yesteryear. Here's change ends. They just had enough to get over the line. Everyone's under pressure today. Umpires, timekeeper, cameraman, commentator. I don't know how much more I got left in me. 5 minutes, you might say. They swap ends straight away. What a game of footy. How's this going to end? With 1.5 minutes to go in regular time, Deanmill were on their way to a prelim. Imp said, no, not today. We're going to take this just a little bit further. Right, last 5 minutes, extra time. I'm not sure what happens after this. Golden point. Hall, the last goal kicker. Up he goes, wins it down. Comes back to Hall, drives it onto his boot. Strawn in best position, puts the Dukes up, spills out the back. Comes towards Waderman. McGinty's there. Will it sit for him? Gets the ball back inside. Cleverly by Strawn. Gets it back. Comes to McGinty. First snap on goal by McGinty. Behind. I'm that spent, I can't even do math. Ball's brought back into play. Tempera knocks it back, but it comes to Johnson. Interestingly puts it onto his boot. Farquhar comes across, can get the ball back from Hall, gives it back to Hall. Just chuck the ball long. Edgar's got to work hard here. Does well. Stole it, does Edgar. Gives it to Demetrio. Now they're out. Myers. High up and under. Farquhar will sit under this one to take an uncontested mark. Does so in front of Constable. Has a player short in Heverington. Uses him. Heverington. Heverington. On the left boot. High up and under. It's all about the Strawnster. 1 grab 2. Strawn takes the mark in front of Hancock. Strawn will kick from 50. Slight angle for goal number 5. 93 to 98. 5 points the margin. Jordan Strawn. I don't know how much I've got left in me, I'm serious. Big Geordie Strawn for goal number 5. Opening goal, extra time, in he comes. It's got to bend back a fair way. Will it stay in play? It is in play. Spills out. Beluda will be first back. Peels off the ball, gets the handball, comes to Beluda. Tries to be clever to give it back to McGinty. Too hot for him to handle. Ball out of bounds. Be thrown in 35 metres out from Deanmill's goal. 5 points the margin. Hall up against Constable. Reaches over the back. McGinty gets onto his left boot. Bounces over the boundary line. Right near the behind post. Ball to be thrown in. 10 metres out. They get a score here. 2 kicks to Imperials. Thrown in. Hall wins clean possession. Chucks it onto his boot. Spills towards Strawn. Puts his head over the ball. Tries to knock it out. Comes back to Hall. Gets a handball out to McGinty. He'll snap on goal, McGinty! He's put it through! McGinty has put it through. 11 points the margin. That hung in the air like one of Ernst Femia's lob wedges on number 1 from the bunker. And it managed to go through. 11 points the margin. I don't know if the wind was just luck, but McGinty, the right side for a left footer, chucked it onto his boot, and he got the result that his team wanted. Ball back in the middle. Up goes Hall, knocks it forward, comes to Armstrong, cleverly gets it back towards Constable, knocked forward. They've gone forward once again. In comes East, Max East, over to Zach Hall, high up and under. Melenis is there. Callum East comes in, tries to knock it out towards Hancock. In comes a big ball in East. I'm not sure about that handball. It looked one-handed. Well, that's what they call it, handball. Comes to Farquhar, tries to get onto his left boot. Out of bounds it goes. Free kick will go the way of Imperials. Danks has Armstrong short, uses him. Take it, go, good kick, Armstrong. Mark missed by Constable, spills out to his opponent in Reeve. He'll go long and wide, not his best kick. Demetrio's got to make an effort, comes over the back, it'll spill to Demetrio. It bounces up, oh, he's having a horror day today. Demetrio, that was Paddy Voss-like. It just wouldn't sit up for him. He thought it was going to be a goal, and the ball just kept on bouncing. Johnson boys pick themselves up off the bottom of the pack. Up goes Hall, knocks it towards the boundary. Heverington sits up, get onto his left boot. Shot on goal from Heverington. Strawn's going to make a contest. Ball goes out of bounds. Be throwing in 15 metres out from Deanmill's goal. If they get a point here, surely we can't go to extra time, can we? Ball to be thrown in. A minute and a half to go, extra time. What a game of footy. Thrown in. Strawn does the ruck work, wins it towards goal. Johnson's there. They've tied it up. They've done well, the forwards, for Deanmill. Dylan Beluda, the veteran full, picks himself up off the bottom of the pack along with Johnson. Up they go. Strawn wins it down. Snap on goal. Smothered. It's going to bounce towards goal. In comes Beluda. Gets the handball back to Demetrio. Shot on goal from Demetrio. 12 points the margin. 12 points the margin. 2 goals. We were here 20 minutes ago saying the same thing. Hancock will reload. He's got to go straight down the middle. Goes the torpedo. Gets a good piece of it. Hall's in front. Over the top comes Danks. Takes a terrific mark. Drives the ball long. Brown up against Gizzarelli. Gizzarelli takes a mark. He's been paid. Plays on straight away. Look for Myers. Over comes Glenhill. Rayson just chucks it forward. Does well there, the youngster. In comes Reeve with a shepherd. Handball from Hall. Heverington goes short. They're going to go through the prelim. The Hawks. Demetrio takes the mark. Tells the crowd, I've marked the ball. Second time today. Drives it forward. Looks for Beluda. Hancock gets his frame in front, wins it, drives the ball, just chucks it onto his boot. Danks is there, so is Edgar. Edgar does well. Boundary line will win. Ball goes out of bounds, right in front of the commentary box. 12 points the margin. Less than a minute to go. What a game of footy. Ball's thrown in. Constable wins it down. Goes to Tempera. Comes back towards Tempera. They've tied the ball up. Constable comes in, lays a tackle. They've done enough, the Hawks. They're going to have a couple of weeks off. Hall knocks it forward, comes to Armstrong. Tried his heart out today. Puts it towards the top of the square. Farquhar's been good. Nearly had a windy. Comes out towards Melenis. He gets a handball back out to Zach Hall. Tackled by East. Terrific tackle by Callum East. Umpires free kick. There's a throw-in. There's the siren. 13 goals 15 to 16-9. 105 to 93. 12 points the margin in favour of Deanmill in extra time. Timmy Myers taking a mark right on normal time, regular time, and put it through from 30 metres out to draw the game. 5 minutes each way. Seen Deanmill kick 2 goals too. Imperials just kicked the 2 behinds. 28 scoring shots to 25 and 12 points the margin. What a game of footy. A little bit more exciting than what we've seen in recent times. Finals is alive and well. Danks was sensational for Imperials. So was Zach Hall. Big Angus Brisbane. He is a frightening sight. I was getting scared up here and surely he couldn't come in here. Gizzarelli done well. Tim Myers, the best game I've seen him play. And for Deanmill, well, Brock Tempera was simply outstanding. Kobe Brown done some really good things for a youngster, along with Cooper Racing down back. Reeve and Armstrong had a terrific duel in the middle of the ground. East Slater's terrific tackle. Ianu, sensational. Biggest concern, it's probably the captain in Blake. He's come off with looked like a rib injury, but he'll have a couple of weeks to get himself right. Farquhar's second half was outstanding. Our goal kickers, well, Reeve got the opening goal of the match. Mason got 2, Tempera 3, Strawn 4, Gledhill 3. I think Strawn might have got 5, sorry. Gledhill 1, Hetherington 1, East, that's Blake East, full, and McGinty got a terrific goal, which put them 12 points up or 11 points up. For Imperials, Gizzarelli got 2, Melenis got 2, East got 3, that's Max East. Zach Hall got 2, he was terrific today. Myers as well, he got 2, all in the second half. No more important than to take this match to extra time. And Danks, well, he was absolutely on fire at half forward. He got 2 as well. We thank all our sponsors. Are we going to go out on ground? Are we? And we want us to interview?
It's just to give after.
Okay. Well, what a terrific game of footy. Thank our cameraman Curtis, done a terrific job, and our timekeeper in the legend from Tigers, Ange, Violent Femmes Femia. Terrific game of footy. Deanmill the winners by 2 goals. 16 goals 9 to 13 goals 15. What a game of footy. Extra time. They'll be back in 2 weeks to take on the loser of Bridgetown and Cogenut. We will see you next week from Bridgetown Football Oval, where the undefeated Cogenut Cougars will take on second place Bridgetown to see who gets through in the league grand final. And from Cogenut, it's goodbye from all of us.